All right, so boom, guys. I just dropped a 2 hour and 35 minute masterclass on how we generated Cecil 10K revenue in the month of July, as well as how we are taking him to 60K plus months. Dude, this was a doozy of a video, but I'm telling you, if you're an educational or informational YouTuber, this video is going to be the most valuable piece of training that you have ever seen on building a proper scalable online business if you're an educational or informational YouTuber. Educational or informational YouTubers, you guys need to be focusing on building high ticket transformation based businesses. And in this video, I pretty much detail and outline every single step that me and Cecil took to get to this result and what we're going to be doing over the next couple months to scale him to 60K plus 70K, 80K, 90K, whatever the case may be. We're going to scale Cecil's business hard. So I'm going to tell you right now, you need to pay attention. This video is going to show you step by step what you need to actually know, because everything out there on YouTube, bro, they don't tell you the actual things that you need to get to the desired vision that you have for your business. And that's probably, you want to feel like a real entrepreneur. You want to actually have a scalable business. You want to be able to have consistent income coming in every single month. You want to be able to cause genuine transformation for people in your audience and your customers. You want to have a proper offer. You want people to You just want to have a structured business and structured business systems. You don't want to feel like you're on that content hamster wheel and treadmill, just posting video after video, trying to and assuming that, okay, posting video after video is going to get you to your money goals and your business goals and your vision goals. I digress, because we talked about it a lot in the video. The most important part of the video, you cannot skip this. I'm telling you, the most important part of the video is the biggest lessons that we learned. I'm telling you, that is worth multiple six figures of information and of value. So, like, this is a long video. It's long. I understand. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes, but I'm telling you, if you pay attention and stay to the end, this is going to be the most valuable piece of training that you have ever watched on how to build a proper business as an educational or informational YouTuber, or even a creator in general. So lock in. I'll see you guys on the end. If you guys have any questions, any feedback, just drop them in the comments. Talk to you soon. Peace. All right, so boom! Let me stop yelling. It's like 2 a.m. Here's how this educational / info YouTuber named Cecil, not Cecile, Cecil, generated 10K revenue in the month of July, and how we're taking him to 60K plus months. So imagine DwavesAcquisition. That's me. Yes, you can see that's me. DwavesAcquisition.com. We are a consulting firm that helps educational and informational YouTubers generate about 15K, 20K or so in 10 to 14 days, and then eventually off the back end of that, scale you to multiple 5 figures a month, multiple 6 figures a month. The goal of this video is to genuinely give all of the blueprint, the sauce, everything that you need to know as an educational or informational YouTuber to scale an actual high-ticket transformation-based YouTube business. The squeeze one system that we've created at DwavesAcquisition has quite literally been the bridge to Cecil's growth. So imagine having something that quite literally builds the cornerstone, the foundation of a scalable, high-ticket transformation-based YouTube business that allows you time freedom, allows you money and financial freedom, and allows you to finally get off the content roller coaster you're currently on and constantly on. Imagine being able to serve people at the highest level. And that's what this heart represents, because we're able to serve our customers at the highest level, which helps them and helps us. It's a win-win situation for both parties. These same strategies were also able to get Cecil a 170,000 YouTube view video. And this is after we dialed in his market, dialed in his avatar, dialed in his offer specifically. And views in this actual context, you're gonna see like in the rest of this video why views isn't even something that even matters. But if you care about that, yes, with these strategies we got him 170,000 video. And like I said, the squeeze one system that we've created is the bridge to tons of money, tons of comments of people commenting the keywords so that he can get inside his offer. Conversations like this between his customers, screenshots like this where he's so excited. He acted like a child behind the keys. And if you haven't known, because I haven't said it yet, Cecil is a piano coach. But first, let me just show you guys some proof and just kind of show you like kind of what results we were able to get for Cecil in the month of July. So we basically launched Cecil's piano offer, and I mean, you can just see the results yourself. Tons of books called in the month of July. tons of payment notifications, tons of closes for 3,000, payments and installments for 2,500. Like I said, 170,000 view video, completely based off our specific strategies and specific sort of mechanisms that we do at DwavesAcquisition. That's what latent means, and that's what research means, because that's like basically directly telling about what we do and what we did for him inside DwavesAcquisition. And yep, once we had the avatar locked in, we were able to tailor pretty much everything to them. And when you do that, I mean, that's the result. You get a 170,000 view video. So, enough of this talking. In this video, you guys are going to get an insane amount of value and sauce. Like, the problem with the online YouTube game and just online space in general that maybe is targeting, educational YouTubers or educational creators, whatever the case may be, is that people just don't really give the sauce. They don't really give the step-by-step, the actual value, the actual thing you need to actually get the result without you dropping tens of thousands of dollars on an offer or a program. If you guys choose to work with me, cool, that's fine. I would love for you to. I would love to help you get to your result. But why should my free content not be enough for you guys to get to at least part of the result, most of the result, if possible? So in this video, we're going to pretty much detail and outline all the steps that Cecil took to get this result of 10K in a month in July, and how we're going to use what we've done in July to get him to 60K plus months. And what you'll be able to take out of it is just being able to see what he did, see where he went wrong, see where you might also be going wrong currently too, so that you can apply to your own YouTube educational / informational business. And then from there, obviously scale to however many figures you want per month. It could be 5, it could be 6. Me personally, I'm going for 7 to 8. Yes, that's me. Divine Nawaga. That's how I just roll. And I hope that mindset maybe rubs up on you. Pause. Rubs off on you. Rubs up on you. It's crazy. Rubs off on you, so that perhaps, maybe you can find some inspiration and see and maybe ask yourself, okay, where do I want to take my business? So without further ado, let's get into it. All right. So we're going to break this down step by step by step. This is going to be a somewhat of a long video. I mean, you already saw that from the intro. This is going to be a long video. Do not skip any parts. If you need to skip to a part, it should be to the lessons part at the end. But do not skip a part, because every single part is very, very important. If you actually want to scale your business to your educational informational business to 5 to 6 figures a month, if you're not interested in that, just click off the video now. This is going to be a video full of value. So let's actually get into it. Here's the real problem that no one talks about. So the brutal reality that Cecil faced, and the brutal reality that you're facing now. So, number one, you're creating real educational and value content. And of course, the views and engagement matches that. You get a ton of likes, you get comments, you get people DMing you, people messaging you, whatever the case may be. But you just haven't or can't consistently crack real sales. So you're constantly trying to get more and more of your audience to buy your offers or products through posting more videos. I mean, you're probably spamming your channel right now. And Cecil was pretty much in the same place. Cecil was making tons of valuable and educational content, getting great engagement. I mean, we can see, this is him, about 9 months ago. Great engagement. For his channel was about maybe 20K at the time. Great engagement, great consistency. But you can kind of just tell that he just didn't have a lot of sort of, kind of consistency in what he was posting. His videos were kind of all over the place. The great value he was providing wasn't turning into sales. And this is for another reason that we'll get into later. He was getting tons of engagement. You can see tons of views, tons of likes, whatever the case may be. Nobody was buying his services though. So he was selling editing, content creation. I mean, listen, I'll be honest, we're going to talk about it later, but this is just not, this doesn't reflect sort of the content he was creating. And that's really the truth. It doesn't really reflect the content he was creating. So, I mean, it wasn't really a surprise why people weren't buying his stuff. But yeah, I mean, nevertheless, he was still providing a ton of great value. And yeah, I mean, of course, if people aren't buying your stuff and you're posting all these videos, it's gonna just manifest as, I mean, for you, it might manifest as frustration and just wondering, what am I even doing all this for? I mean, Cecil, him, just apathy, he doesn't even know what to do. He just keeps posting, keeps posting, keeps posting. And can you just kind of imagine, you're getting all these views, you have stuff to sell, but people aren't buying your stuff. So at that point, you just resort to just not even caring anymore. You just post your video, post your video, post your video, because that's all you know. That's all you've been taught to. And that's basically the problem with Cecil and what he was going through and what he was struggling with. You have tons of views, DMs, and comments. People that are saying they love your channel, but almost nobody actually pulls out their card. So Cecil had tons of engagement. I mean, we can just see all these people saying, I mean, look, please do more tutorials like this. This is what every upcoming artist needs before going into music. Every upcoming artist, you're talking about the millions of upcoming artists in the world need this, and that's my point. He's creating a ton of value. People clearly love what he's, presenting to them, what he's recording, what he's uploading, but it's just not reflecting in the fact that these people are not buying his stuff. Like, tons of people praise him, saying how much they love this content, how bad they wanted him to teach them, but they were barely buying the service he was offering in the first place. And of course, before he built out a proper offer for him. And listen, Cecil was actually stuck at below 1K per month. You are most likely stuck at between 1K to 7K plus per month. Maybe some months are up, some months are down. Income is super unpredictable most months. I mean, it probably makes you feel trapped. I know it definitely makes you feel insecure because you don't even have predictable monthly income coming in every single month. And this is a direct quote from Cecil. I could even show you the kind of revenue I get on the main channel for you to see like how transparent I am. It doesn't hit 1K. It barely hits 800. And this is why I want you to actually really pay attention to. He was working super hard creating his videos, spending 10 hours a day editing videos, and making less than 1K a month from all these efforts. So, can you imagine, bro? Can you imagine busting your butt for 10 hours just for one video, just to only make less than 1K for the month? Like, dude, that's brutal. And I'm sure you're in a very similar situation. So it's like, okay, some months when videos go viral, of course, we have the chart here. Some months when videos go viral is like when you get to your upper end of your monthly income, maybe 6K, maybe 7K, maybe a sponsorship hits here and there as well. But when the sponsorships run dry, as well as video views for the month and engagement isn't high, this is when you get to, this is the definition of hell, where you feel all the worry and stress and just anger and frustration and confusion. And you're like, what do you even do? You see all these people making all this money online, people even in your niche probably doing the exact same thing, making a ton of money, and you're still dealing with months where, oh, even me, I'm feeling the pain. Can you imagine busting your butt to post out video after video after video and getting like 1K, 2K only for the month? Oof, no. And extrapolate that to any sort of the cyclical graph of higher months for you when videos are viral and lower months for you when videos are not viral. Of course, it depends on the creator, it depends on the YouTuber, but extrapolate this graph to your situation and feel the pain. Feel the pain of like, wow, this really occurs. And imagine you scroll Instagram, you scroll YouTube, every single video, it seems that there's a 19 or 18-year-old millionaire making tons of money per month. And I have a perfect GIF for this, if it would load. It's like all the noise. It's like Homelander. Yeah. It's like Homelander in this situation is just, he's watching a movie, whatever the case may be. If you guys know, this is from The Boys, like The Boys show. And I feel like this is just a perfect representation of you scrolling through all your feed, seeing all these titles of life after building a 200K month business at 21. The exact system we used to scale to 100K a month. 5 secret books with maybe 10K a month. Explaining how I made 80K per month to live my dream life. Like, come on, bro, that's ridiculous. Can you imagine though, seeing all this stuff where people who are definitely less skilled than you, less built of an audience, less views on their videos, whatever the case may be, making 10K to 50K plus a month from their channels, while you can't figure out what you're missing to crack consistent 5K to 10K a month. So Cecil he has big visions for where he wants to take his business and where he's going to take his business, like hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. I'm sure you're the same way. Everybody is. Everybody wants to, especially in this online space where everything is booming and everything is just growing. The info market itself is just growing. I'm sure you want to get to some of these numbers, but you just can't seem to understand like why these months, for one, aren't, you feel like you're not even close to these months and you don't even know probably how to even get there as well. So Cecil, of course, has seen tons of videos and people monetize and making money from their YouTube businesses, even though Cecil's content and engagement is way better than theirs. And like I said, these titles just represent it so perfectly. And you've tried all the launches, you've tried all the products. I know you tried the courses. I know you tried offering like planners and workshops, etc. Digital products, templates. I know, trust me, I know. I know that nothing ever sticks. I know that it feels that it's like, wow, I've created this, but why is nobody buying? Like, why aren't people wanting this? Like, I thought this is what my audience wanted. I thought this is what they told me to do. But why is it not working? Why is it not consistent? The problem is that these things haven't really gotten you to the true place you've wanted to get with your YouTube business. And of course, that's actually feeling like a real entrepreneur. That's actually having five figure months, 6 figure months, actually having the the want to make content that doesn't feel like you have to make it, that it's just supporting the overall business itself. So, like we said before, Cecil had tried offering a ton of services other than what we had built for him. Like obviously, this is the editing, the content creation, the account management. For one, he was not getting sales consistently. We had to completely turn that off. And for two, they weren't taking him to the true place he wanted to go to with his business. So keep this in mind. Cecil has aspirations and will get aspirations and will hit his aspirations with hitting hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. Do you think offering editing and account management is going to take him there? It could if it was positioned correctly, but most YouTubers and Cecil specifically as well, it's just not positioned correctly. Like nobody buys account management. Like that's not enticing or appealing to anybody. Of course, people aren't going to buy. Of course, it's not going to be consistent. They're going to be like, "Yeah, that's boring." Trying tactics and strategies that just don't stick long term could never lead to that desired vision he had for his YouTube business. I want you to keep these points in mind as we go through the rest of this video. Tactics and strategies, like just trying launches, trying digital products, just releasing something without really, doing that much in-depth research into like whether people actually want it or not, whether it's actually like good or anything like that. These tactics and strategies would never lead you to that desired vision. So hold the desired vision that you have for your YouTube business and your business in general. Just have the vision of like you being able to work anywhere you want, being able to provide for your family or something like that. Feeling like you know yourself, like you're powerful, like you're an authority in your niche. Have this vision in your head and realize, okay, and ask yourself, okay, has what I've been doing been contributing to that goal and to that vision? Because you know you have that vision. And if the answer is no, then you need to restructure what you're doing. And listen, the constant content hamster wheel, it applies to every single educational or informational YouTuber. You're just cranking out video after video just to avoid a bad month. That goes to the right thing over here. You're just trying to put video out after video just to hopefully get months where videos go viral. Can you imagine living your life reliant on whether the algorithm saves you? Oh my god. You're doing that just to stay afloat each month. You have to constantly put out video after video after video. And simply, this just stems that you think that if you stop, it equals death. And we'll get into it, but basically this stems from simply fear that's stopping you. And selling high ticket, you have no clue how that even works. Sales calls, delivery, scaling feels foreign. Feels like, well, what is this? I just don't even know. I don't understand it. And also, on top of the fact, you're busy running the content hamster wheel. How do you have time to learn about high ticket when you're stuck just trying to keep up? Because that thing is making you run. You can't stop. If you stop, it equals death, correct? We'll get into it though. So, yeah, you just wouldn't even know where to start, even if you wanted to build a high ticket transformation business. Cecil definitely had no clue. And it's just like a concept that you can't even fathom. And I understand, like, in your chest and just in your body, it just probably feels like such a foreign concept, and a lot of fear behind it, and you don't even know who to trust or who to listen to. There's just so much information out there, so you just continue to just post out video after video, and hopefully that, hopefully if you just keep posting, money will come, right? And the only time income goes up is if you have a viral lucky month. But you can't live on the algorithm and your audience forever. So of course, Cecil had some months where, he had a couple of viral videos like 15K here, 24K here. But then there's some months where he didn't have a viral video. You can just imagine what these months are where he didn't have a viral video, as well as these months are where he did have a viral video. Well, guess what, dude? Guess what? This is done. Finito. It's finished. After this video, that reality you're living is over. I have a perfect GIF. Thanos. It nearly killed me. But the work is done. It always will be. Yes, this has been your reality. This has been your past. Whatever the case may be, this is what you're going through now. But after this video, you're never going to have to worry about that again. If you follow the steps in this video, you will never have to worry about any of the problems that we just went over here. So you're going to learn what it actually takes to build a premium, high-ticket transformation based YouTube business that scales in simple and structured fashion no complexity. I'm gonna give you away everything. And by the way, like you're gonna get everything you need. A real YouTube company that lasts for years, which is the main gold star. We don't care about tactics and strategies that make us afloat for a couple months. We're trying to build a company that lasts for years, a business that lasts for years. You're going to learn how to make those problems we just went over non-existent. And it's the same principles that's going to make me personally 10K to 15K this month with only 14 followers on Instagram and 36 YouTube subscribers. Most of the principles, besides a couple, because some are like applicable to you with an audience, but everything else is the exact same principles I'm going to make personally. 10K, 50K a month with only 14 followers on Instagram. And go follow me, by the way, on Instagram. Lots of value, lots of sauce in there, so you'll see. As well as on YouTube. If you have not subscribed yet, subscribe. I want more subscribers. Not that it's gonna. I mean, it will make me more money. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. But even with 14 followers and 36 YouTube subscribers, I'm gonna make 10K to 15K this month. So you need to pay attention because this is gonna be very valuable to you who most likely has way more subscribers and followers than me. So this is going to change everything for you. So you've seen a million YouTube growth videos. Yes, you've seen a million. In fact, if you just search up how to become rich as a YouTuber, I was literally doing this a couple of days ago. The videos that are going to come up are going to have everything to do with getting more views. Getting more views, maybe launching a couple of products, like we said, that you definitely have tried already before. And it's just not going to be videos that actually get you to the desired end result that you want. So let's get into it. How to turn viewers into buyers. I know we've seen that one. Copy this one video formula. Yeah, we've seen that one. Why your videos aren't getting any views. The problem with these types of videos, and the problem with just sort of the most of the YouTube growth videos out there is that none of these strategies actually move you closer to the real vision you have for your channel and your business. What is this real vision? This is like Yellowstone National Park. I thought the image was pretty, so I want to connect the pretty image to the pretty vision that you have for yourself as a real entrepreneur. So you want to feel like a real entrepreneur and not just a content creator, but someone whose work actually commands respect, authority, and serious money. You want people to actually want to come to you. You want to feel like people respect you, feel like people want to buy from you, feel like you're genuinely serving people. And you want to make a ton of money doing so. Who doesn't? Why wouldn't you? If you can serve people at the highest level as well as make money for it, why wouldn't you want to do that? You want to have financial stability that feels inevitable. Knowing each month's income is secured by a system, not dependent on virality. That is going to be huge in the later half of the video, so pay attention. You want to be seen as a go-to authority in your niche, where high-value customers seek you out. Of course, you want to have proof you're better than the YouTuber you secretly compare yourself to, not just in skill, but in results, impact, and money coming in each month/year. So you can kind of just see that everything itself is just kind of work in sort of like conundrum with each other. It works in sort of a loop and flywheel with each other. So you want to be seen as a go-to authority in your niche where high-value customers seek you out. And to do so, you're going to need to have proof where it shows that you're better than the YouTubers you secretly compare yourself to. And proof as in terms of the customer results that you've gotten, the lives that you've changed, the transformation that you've actually caused. And of course, money is a very big indicator to show that you're successful, that you are doing things right. Money is just in its inherent form, just value. People are giving you their value so that you can give them value back. The money is just a representation of the value that you're giving to them. I'm cooking for you, boy. You want to buy back your time and creative freedom, of course. You don't want to feel like you have to create content just to stay on a hamster wheel. In fact, why don't you just step off the hamster wheel? That's it. And that's what you can do if you really build a high-ticket transformation business the correct way. So, of course, buy back your time so that you can create because you want to, not because you have to. You want to replace uncertainty with total control. Knowing exactly how to turn your audience into predictable, high-ticket revenue without burning out and confusion. So we're going to show you step by step how to actually go about this. And of course, we're doing this because we want to have freedom in our lives and be able to express our humanity in the best way possible. So you want to achieve the lifestyle you imagined when you started YouTube. Freedom, travel, recognition, and the satisfaction of building something lasting. And this is actually possible for you, but there's some things we need to go over. You don't have a views or thumbnail problem. You don't have a sales page problem. I promise you. Okay, hold on. And this is why I wrote this. Because you actually might. Your sales page might suck. Your thumbnails they're probably not bad. I'm not going to lie. And you might have a views problem. Most likely you don't, because even 100 people per video is enough to have a 10K, 15K a month YouTube business. I'm living proof. But that is not the biggest lever to pull. So you might have these problems, but that is not the biggest lever to pull in order to get to the real vision you have for your YouTube channel. Let me explain. Give me a lever long enough in a place to stand, and I'll move the world. This is a quote by the great Archimedes. I'm pretty sure Archimedes was, people say he was a philosopher. No, I'm pretty sure he was a mathematician, a very smart mathematician that came up with sort of the concept of leverage. And in simple terms, I will just explain that leverage is getting the most out for what you put in, pretty much in simple terms. Like you're putting something in, like, and when I say input, and you want to get the most out of that input. That is what the definition of leverage is. So there's going to be multiple forms of leverage, not even leverage, levers that you can pull that will get you to the end result that you want for your YouTube business. And of course, remember, the end result is to feel like a real entrepreneur, to have financial stability, to be seen as a go-to authority, whatever the case may be. You know the rest. I'm sure you live through that reality every single day. So the third best and the third worst, well, the third best lever, because the first is the best, of course. It's not the first worst, it's the first best. The third best lever to pull. And frankly, it's actually one of the lowest levers to pull, if a lever at all. This is the lever that you've most likely already been pulling, trying to get more views. If this worked, you'd already be a millionaire. No, you'd already be a millionaire. Please. You'd already be a millionaire, but you're not, because your business doesn't move at all when you're trying to just get more views. Because if you're pouring more views into a broken system, you are quite literally just staying the exact same place as before, or even regressing. Regressing because of the fact that you now have a ton of people in your ecosystem that watch you, but now people who could have been potential leads and customers, they're now just leaving because there's no proper conversion system to turn them into customers, to turn them into actual sales. You don't have a good conversion system, so these people all just leave and probably never return. Like literally, they probably will never return again. And you're just gonna stay in the exact same place as before because you don't have an actual mechanism that turns those views into sales, which is the main thing you want. You can lie to yourself and say, "Oh, I just want views," but you're not just doing this just to get some views and the dopamine of views. In fact, you probably don't even get the dopamine from views anymore. You're doing this for sales, and so that you can have a real high ticket transformation business, and just a real business in general. You probably don't even know that you want a high ticket transformation business, but I'm telling you, the only path forward is with a high ticket transformation business. Even if you want to run a low ticket community, even if you want to just sell courses, even if you want to just sell memberships, whatever the case may be, I'm going to explain later in the video. Stay tuned, please. You're not going to want to miss this. And in simple terms, the real problems stay the same. The problems that are actually keeping you at the level that you're at, which we're going to explain in a little bit. And the second best is turning viewers into buyers. And this is somewhat of a lever that you can pull, but at best, you're going to just get a little movement, a bit more sales for the month or two, or three even, a few more buyers. But it's temporary because you're only pulling one lever that doesn't actually solve all the other problems that actually prevent you from being able to have a scalable business that is able to grow profitably and consistently and just over month after month after month, over time. So basically, because yes, you can pull this lever to get a little bit of movement 1 month, 2 months, even 3 months, 4 months even, but nothing really changes long term. And if you want to get to that vision you want, how are you going to do so if nothing is actually going to change long term? Because long term, the vision is what you want. So there's things you need to do to get to the fact that that vision is a reality. If you're not changing things that aren't going to affect the things in the long term, which is where the vision lies, you're never going to get there. So you're always going to go back to equilibrium, and where you're going to continue to go through that cyclical graph of, oh, hey, I did this little tweak. Now I have a couple of sales for this month. Then you'll go back because the tweak will end. Because tweaks and strategies, if you don't understand, tweaks and strategies always fall off. Tweaks and strategies never work consistently because they're not rooted in foundations. So speaking of foundations, let's get into the first lever or the actual best lever that you can pull. And This lever that you can pull is Foundations for Scaling, coined by DwavesAcquisition. This is the biggest lever that you can pull, and it's actually the only lever you can pull. Anything else is not going to get you to the vision. That's what I want you to keep in mind for the rest of this video, and just this video in general. Think about the vision you want. Think about whether you're doing what you're doing, the action that you're doing, the actions that you're doing. Do they lead to the desired vision? Do they lead to, excuse me, feeling like a real entrepreneur, having financial stability every single month, not just a couple months, every single month, being seen as a go-to authority, having more proof that you're better than YouTubers who secretly compare yourself to. If we're just even going to talk about monetarily, this YouTuber is maybe making 100K a month. Are you making 100K a month and month after month, end after end? Probably not. So you need to figure out, okay, are the actions I'm doing, are the strategies I'm doing, are the tactics I'm doing, and because they're action strategies and tactics, they don't affect anything in the long term. They only affect things in the short term. Are they getting me to this vision? If they're not, then clearly you are doing something wrong. And that's what I'm trying to say, because there's only really one lever you can pull, and this is Foundations for Scaling. So when you finally pull the right lever, the whole entire business moves. The whole entire business, not just a few singular parts, like in the first two levers that you could have pulled, like bronze and silver. So do you understand? This is how you actually achieve the vision you have for yourself and your channel and your business. That's how you build something that lasts. We're going to explain what Foundations for Scaling is, but that's by focusing on the foundation, by focusing on getting to the root of why you have your problems in the first place. Not just tactics, not just strategies. You're able to move the entire lever to where now your YouTube business actually rises and you actually get to go to the long-term end desired result and end desired vision that you have for yourself. Simple terms. So, give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I'll move the world. So here's my promise to you, since I'm yapping so much. I know this has been a long yap just in the first, whatever, 20, 25 minutes. The next however long this video is, and I'm telling you, will be the most valuable piece of training you receive on how to build a real high-ticket transformation-based company if you're an educational or informational YouTuber. I'm not lying. I'm telling you this as I'm looking into the camera. This is going to be the most valuable piece of training that you receive if you're an educational or informational YouTuber. It's not going to be a video fluff. I'm not holding anything back. This will be the most valuable video you see on this topic. I don't care if you work with DwavesAcquisition. We are the #1 firm for edu/info YouTubers. I don't care though. All I want is to see you guys win, even if you never hear from me again, because I just know the value out there sucks. Like, and I'm saying this as someone who has spent 2 years or so using free content to get me to the place I'm at right now. And most value sucks. I don't even watch YouTube anymore. I just use ChatGPT. ChatGPT is my best friend. So, enough of my talking. I've been yapping too much. Let's actually begin. Let's actually get into the meat and potatoes, and let's talk about the actual story of how this happened and how we actually got Cecil his result and where we're going to take his business within the next couple of months. Bow! Alright, so boom. What actually happened? What actually happened? So, when we first started, Cecil and I actually first started working together back in September 2024. I know. Right now it is August 2025, and we got our launch, and we launched in July. So basically, between September and July was us pretty much just building. And frankly, this is the fault of me. There was a whole bunch of stuff that I just couldn't account for and didn't account for on what it took to build and how long it took to build. And even me talking about it right now is giving me a headache because for the past 8 to 9 months, I spent just building, and I underestimate how long it would actually take. If you want, go watch my last video where I talk about where I've been and how I'm going to millions, multi-millions, where I talk about where I've been and just what I've been doing. But Cecil and I actually first started working together back in September 24. So, and this is the thing, Cecil, always the perfect person to work with, diligent, motivated, can do stuff without saying, oh my gosh, like just look at some of these messages. Like just very proactive. When do we start the market research? Just finished shooting, about to check things out. Just finished reading everything. Very excited. Like we are ready. Like he's just a person who's a go-getter. We always grind, so it's nothing new. I mean, Cecil has always been a perfect person to work with, and just he's a very talented YouTuber. So I want to just attribute and credit him just so much because he works so hard. And if you're not willing to work as hard as him, you can't expect to get even good results. And one thing I want to state, these results, and I'm going to state this in the intro as well, these results are not crazy. We were expecting like 20K to 30K cash collected. A lot of mishaps happen, a lot of mistakes happen. That's okay. But Nevertheless, Cecil worked hard for his result, and we're going to continue to scale him over the next couple of months. So, yeah, he had all the talent, of course, the audience to drive, but he just didn't have a clear path towards actually monetizing and building a real business. So, obviously, we knew that. That's why he agreed to become a customer and client of mine, because he just didn't have a clear path, and I know the clear path. So, Cecil's main problems was that he just didn't know what he didn't know. He knew where he wanted to take his business, of course, like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, but he just didn't know how to get there. So he didn't know the path or how you could structure your YouTube business to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. And I mean, this is just seeing like just by some of his messages, like he'll create maybe like some content or some slides or do like a document or something like that, or an action item that I give him. And he always just come to me for feedback just to make sure that he's doing everything correctly, because he just doesn't know what he doesn't know. Of course he doesn't. And that was my goal, to teach him everything and show him sort of the fundamentals and foundations of why things work. And you can tell just by all the feedback that I like to give. Like, if he makes a mistake, I'll make sure I give an in-depth sort of response and sort of like just a guide for him to sort of understand from a foundational level. At DwavesAcquisition, we're all about foundation, because foundations is things that never change. Tactics and strategies always change. Always, always, always change. So Cecil, he just didn't have a clear avatar. He did not have a clear offer for sure. He was selling a whole bunch of stuff beforehand that just weren't even aligned. He didn't know exactly who he was speaking to and why it was, and who he was exactly tailoring his messaging to, and that's like just very evident by the types of videos he was creating. Like, why Black Sheriff is the most creative Ghanaian musician? How to create a unique brand for yourself? Um, let's see, the piano trumpet hack every producer should know. Why record labels keep this one strategy? Like, I mean, Cecil, I even laugh at this right now because it's like me and him, we've talked about all this stuff, and we know right now his messaging is so tailored. But before, dude, he was all over the place. He was just speaking to everybody rather than focusing on one specific messaging vertical. And breakthroughs, I mean, frankly enough, to fix the main problems from before, we just had to go to the foundations. And of course, foundations for scaling, this is essential. So some of the foundations we have to go to with market research, offer creation, sort of figuring out our messaging, figuring out who we were targeting, figuring out like how we were going to actually target them with our content, how we were going to sell to them, gathering social proof and stuff like that, so that we can have proof that we know what we're talking about. And like I said, this is essential. So over the course of these past months, Cecil dialed in his avatar and offering exactly who he was targeting through direct market research. Right now, we have simplified the process that we can get this done in 1 to 2 days, literally at DwavesAcquisition. But beforehand, with this sort of like version one of like what I produced for him, it took a long time just because I didn't know what I didn't know, as well as he didn't know what he didn't know. But I knew my stuff worked. It just took a long time. So we did some things like specific market research, where we used Google Forms to collect information from his audience just to figure out basically like sort of like what they wanted, what they needed, and like who they were exactly as well. And based off this newfound knowledge and understanding of the avatar, building an offer, creating marketing assets, and tailoring the back end to the avatar, I mean, dude, it was effortless. As in, like, once we figured out the avatar based off the market research, once we figured out the offer based off the market research as well, I mean, selling to them and just targeting them, bro, it was quite literally effortless. And I mean, this video is the epitome. This is like the epitome of exactly what I'm trying to say and what I'm talking about here, like our philosophies, because this is specifically targeted towards his avatar, but in the top of funnel sort of manner. So that's why he's able to get 170K views. And he said it specifically himself, based specifically off something that we call latent conditions at DwavesAcquisition, and specifically what we did with our market research and avatar formation. Like, this is the epitome of it, and that's why he was able to get results like this, 170K video, and that's why he was able to get the money results that he got as well, and why he's going to be able to scale his business in the next couple of months as well. So once we were able to actually, figure out the messaging, figure out the avatar, figure out the offer, we then went through our first launch and we presented the offer to his audience. We presented his offer now to a specific vertical that we were targeting, which was specific pianists who intermediates and beginners who were struggling. That was pretty much the specific vertical that we were targeting. And yeah, I mean, because the previous work done to truly build from the foundations first so that we could understand the avatar wholly, presenting the offer to his audience was effortless. these people were begging, raving to purchase from him. Like, it was like a no-brainer. Cecil executed very well, very diligent throughout the entirety of his first launch of this high ticket offer. And I just want you to like take a step with me, and I want you to slow down, maybe take a deep breath. If you pay attention to other things outside of this, pay attention to this right now. Whatever niche that you're in, can you imagine being able to sell 3K, 4K, 5K, 6K, 7K, 8K, 9K, 10K, 11K plus packages with pretty much no objections other than price? And with price, like that's like obviously because not everyone's gonna be able to afford that. Like, I mean, you just have to be realistic here. But even then, imagine the only objection being price, and even then, avatars, like the people that you're targeting, are hustling to try and find a way no matter what. Like, asking their family members, asking like their spouses, of course, asking like, okay, how can I scrounge this money? Is there a payment plan? Like, what can I do to make this work? That was due, and we will get into this, our specific belief engineering and psychological brainwashing based assets and principles that quite literally makes the audience feel as if they have no choice but to purchase. And that was also due to how tailored our offer was, and also due to the research that we've done. But the main levers I want to speak about here is the psychological engineering as well as the belief engineering, because that makes them feel as if like, dude, I need to get this right now. This is so specific and so tailored towards me. So on top of that, we also have the back end and automation, the funnels that are specific to a type of avatar slash audience. Like, and it's just someone who watches Cecil and enjoys his content and value, but most likely wants a transformation with piano. Everything was tailored to these mental paradigms, these mental principles. And let's see. Cecil, this is just his diligence. Just he wants to give it his all. Being a YouTuber is straight up nerds. That's why I put my all in the input. Just forget about the outcome. Of course, just focus on what you can control the inputs. This is him just being diligent. And of course, these are more payment links: 3,000, 25, and 500. That was only because we had a problem with the payment processor where we couldn't do above 2,500. So we had to do 25 and 500. Then we need the 3,000. And pretty much. And what's next for Cecil is just his business is currently getting set up to be able to scale over the next 3 to 4 months. So I want you to pay attention to my channel over the next 2 to 3 months. Subscribe. Watch where he is by fall and winter. You're going to see a very, very positive increase in his monthly income. And I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to discuss it. I'll create another video like this. And his business is just going to be something very, very serious. So what's more important, though, that I want you to just kind of understand is the identity he now holds as a real business founder. So he's no longer just a content creator who's like, maybe posting just to hopefully get. Remember, says he was making less than 1K a month, dude. Like, so imagine going from 1K a month to actually getting like 10K in revenue. Like, and just actually having that and knowing that's coming into your bank account and into your payment processor. Like, just imagine like the difference in now how you think about yourself. Like, he now thinks of him like, oh yeah, I'm a businessman. Oh yeah, I'm a CEO. Like, oh yeah, I'm scaling my business. He's a real business operator, in control of his business, his income, and focusing on getting the best and most amazing customer transformations that he can give to his customers. Of course, again, like I said in this screenshot here, he's doing a lot of research. He's just trying to, become the best that he can be for his customers and for himself as well. And like I said, he no longer sees himself as just a YouTuber making videos, hoping to get AdSense checks for the month. He doesn't even care about that right now. He's worried about his customers and how he can scale over the next couple months. It's actually, and bro, it's actually very beautiful to see. I'm not gonna lie, because he's changed so much, and that's why I do this, dude. Oh man, that's why I do this. But he sees himself as a real expert and business founder and holds the identity of someone who runs a real business, which entails getting amazing results for customers, becoming better at what he teaches, becoming a real visionary, and seeing what the future can hold for his business, as well as making decisions now based on data, rather where before YouTubers and educational content creators and just creators in general, a lot of them are emotional. A lot of them are very, very strung up on, the metrics and like the metric dashboard, the click-through rates and retention and all these different things. Like, stop worrying about that. These are YouTuber problems. You are now a business operator. You are a business founder who wants to scale their YouTube business to whatever figures amount per month. Focus on data. Stop worrying about emotions. Stop worrying about feelings. They don't matter. This is a newfound purpose that actually gives some energy and motivation and gratitude. And this can be you too. So, like I said, Kevin, he's just so excited. He's just like a child behind the keys, doing a lot of research and just trying to basically serve his customers at the highest level. And that's really the whole goal of it. And I understand that was a lot. This is a lot. Why does any of this matter though? Like, why does this matter? Like, why did I just tell you Cecil's story? And I want to make this very clear. Everything Cecil went through, all of the uncertainty, the wasted effort, the grinding without real growth, is exactly what keeps most educational and informational YouTubers stuck. This is what is most likely keeping you stuck. Like, just the fact you have uncertainty. Like, all the wasted effort of launching product after product and not understanding. Grinding for videos, hoping that you're going to make more money off of it. This is what's keeping you stuck. It's not a talent problem. You really have enough talent. You're more talented than anyone else in the online business space. See my video where I think it's about something about YouTubers in 2025, something about that. Where I say that YouTubers are the most talented people in the online space. It's more talented than people who do Instagram content, TikTok content, whatever the case may be. It's not a problem where your niche is too small. It's not a problem where you need more views. I promise you. Like I said, I only have 36 YouTube subscribers. I'm gonna get 10K, 15K a month this month, August. It's not about your views. The real danger is just that you can have the audience, the drive, and the skills, but still never reach your real potential because you've built in the wrong order or you're focusing on the wrong things. And Cecil's transformation did not happen because he magically found a viral video. We didn't even talk about videos in that little spiel that I just had of the story. And of course, the only video we talked about was a video that actually did go viral. But that video was viral and it was based off the avatars that we actually were trying to target. So, and we also had a system to convert them from just avatars into actual paying customers. So it's like the viral video only helped us in that regard. It's not going to help you if you don't have a system to convert that virality. Sorry. So this didn't happen because he magically found a viral video or stumbled into luck. We actually engineered and rebuilt his business from the foundation up so that every ounce of effort compounded instead of resetting each month. That is a mindset unlock. Compounding instead of resetting each month. So why does this matter though still? Why am I still just talking? Because if you want to make this shift, the shift that you need to make, where you actually have a proper foundations first scale, foundations first business, you need to figure out what the core root problem for why you're in your situation in the first place, where you're struggling with wasted effort, you're struggling with grinding. Like, I hope you just see this. Like, once you see it, you also cannot unsee it. So prepare yourself that this fix has nothing to do with working harder. It's about working smarter. So what is the actual real reason for why most educational and info YouTubers stay stuck? What is the actual real reason? I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to get some water. And then once I come back, I want you to think about, in the meantime, why I get this water. And I want you to brainstorm. What is the actual reason for why most educational info YouTubers stay stuck? Have you been thinking? Do you think you got it maybe? Do you think you might have gotten the right answer? I hope I don't have a booger in my nose because I just fixed my nose. So what is the actual reason? So lo and behold, let's see if you got it right. The real reason that you're stuck isn't that you're not talented enough, don't have enough subscribers or views, or haven't hit some magical viral video yet. Is that you are building your YouTube business, your coaching business, your high-ticket transformation business, your business in general in the wrong order. You have stacked your entire business on unstable ground so that no matter how hard you work, nothing compounds. No matter how hard you work, nothing compounds. You're constantly restarting from zero. So, one big viral month. This is what you believe. You believe that one big viral month is going to give you the breathing room to figure everything else out. What's actually true is that viral spikes in views without the infrastructure to contain those views vanish as quickly as they come. And I'm sure you know this firsthand. If you don't have a back end, you have no way to capture and compound your momentum. So you'll just end the month with more comments, the same cash, and even more fatigue and embarrassment and just tiredness, etc. But what's actually true? Spikes are useless without a working way to capture the demand and attention. Build your bucket first. Your bucket in this case is a specific backend. business systems that allow you to convert that attention and nurture them so that they can hop on calls with you, buy your products effortlessly. You need to build an ecosystem and just around your channel, around your other social medias as well, around your videos, around your offer itself, around your product, and around your fulfillment system that it's like a flywheel. It's like every system works in tandem with each other. And listen, I'm gonna go into depth with all this stuff, so don't be confused, okay? I know there's a lot of like terms, but I just want to sort of like kind of get you thinking. What's actually true is that you need to build your bucket first, and spikes are useless without working with to capture your demand and attention that you have currently. So you also believe that if you keep posting, the money will just sort itself out. This is false because it hasn't yet. You cannot grind your way into a stable, high ticket transformation based business. What you don't understand is that consistency will compound attention, not revenue. So if you're consistent, yeah, it's gonna compound, but it's only going to compound the attention, not gonna compound revenue. Because if you don't have a clear offer and path to purchase your offer, I mean, dude, like you don't have predictability. So you can't compound something that isn't predictable. Attention is predictable. Revenue is not predictable, especially if you don't have a system. So you can't compound something that you don't know what's coming in every single month. And that's why I've put the metaphor of you are basically just a legal gambler. You can't outpost a missing business and business systems. So what's actually true is that the money will sort itself out when posting fuels a working system. That system is an offer, a funnel, and a sales process. And of course, I didn't add this at the end. A sales process at the end of after sales process is a fulfillment system that gets amazing resulting transformations. It is not the other way around. Money, consistency is not just going to sort out your money. You have to sort out money. Consistency is going to get you more views. It's not going to actually get you more money because you're not focusing on money problems. And third, I don't have time to step back and build a real business. I'll lose momentum. And this is the one that's really like a tire kicker and it's really sad. This is like the epitome of the content hamster wheel. You don't have time because you won't step back. Staying in content only mode is exactly why you continue to stay stuck. It's exactly why you don't have time. And once again, because we already know that consistency only compounds attention, your momentum is only going to compound momentum in views and attention, etc. If you just took a step back, like for a couple weeks, and used what I say in the rest of the video to do so, if you just took a step back to focus on building a real business system that allowed you to start compounding your momentum in terms of cash and revenue and customer results, you would permanently change your business forever. And grinding content, like I said, is just the personal hamster wheel. It's just the personal hamster wheel that we went over before earlier in this video. So what's actually true though? And like I said, just 2 weeks of stepping back to build the foundations, talked about previously, and going to also talk about furthermore, would quite literally beat 2 weeks of the current hamster wheel that you were on. So, and last, you believe that selling a premium offer is going to alienate your audience and that just keeping things free or low ticket or mid ticket is just going to make them like you more or something? Like, what? That is just not true, bro. Like, the people who are at the top of your industry all sell high ticket and people praise and love them. Alex Hermosi just sold $6,000 packages and he sold like $150 million in one day, 1 to 2 days. And all of his packages that like sold that much were high ticket packages. So, and people, dude, bro, people, I wouldn't even be surprised if people is on their knees worshiping him right now. Premium transformation creates a deeper trust. It doesn't create less, and that's what people fail to understand. People value a clear path. What they don't value is when the path is unclear or when the path is worse when it doesn't deliver. And that's just the nature of free and low ticket because of the fact that you can't put your all into something that's free. You won't put your all into something that's low ticket because you're not getting paid enough for it. So that's why it's a win-win for both you and the customer. You get paid high ticket, so you get paid and actually get rewarded for the effort you're putting in. But because you're getting rewarded for the effort you're putting in, you are able to now give all that effort to the product that you're selling to the customer, and they are able to thrive and actually get the transformation and actually get to the result and actually also get just to the dream vision that they have for their life as well. So you literally are doing them a favor as well because everyone just wants to get to that true vision. What if you just created something that fixed that in its entirety and got them just to that true vision, not just a part of the vision, just to that true vision in itself, in its entirety. So it's actually true. Premium is how you serve the 10% who want real change and how you fund the free value for everyone else as well. So this has been your reality. I understand. You probably have thought of these. You are building your business in just the wrong order, and you've just stacked your business on unstable ground. Like you're focusing on content and media over business and business system and structure. And you want your media to get more attention for you as well as sell and make money for you when content doesn't do that. Content just gets attention. You want your media to do what your business is supposed to do. Your business is supposed to get money and get amazing results and focus on and have just amazing business system. You want your content to do what the business is supposed to do. And that's what I'm saying. You stack your business on unstable ground. You're focusing on media without focusing on the thing that actually gets you to the dream result that you want. And like I said, this is your reality, but it does not have to be your future. And like I said, this is the future and vision you have for yourself. Feel like a real entrepreneur. Buy back your time and creative freedom. Achieve the lifestyle you imagined when you started YouTube in the first place. Freedom, travel, recognition, and satisfaction of building something that's lasting. Listen, these are things that you actually can achieve. And this reality doesn't have to be your future, but why not just focus on things that actually get you to the vision rather than tactics and strategy? So, nevertheless, let's tell you actually what we did to get the result for Cecil. And I'm going to give you actionable things that you can take away from this that you can quite literally apply in the next 7 days to your YouTube business and walk away with 10K, 50K, and already be on your way towards the dream vision that you have for yourself. All right, so boom. Here's exactly what we did step by step. And I'd like to call this the Squeeze Launch System version 1. Version 1 was a mess, actually. It took not really a mess. Let me stop lying. It wasn't a mess. It was actually very clean. Just took a lot longer than what we've created with version 2. And now the version 2 of Squeeze Launch System is quite literally a conveyor belt to 15K, 20K cash collected where it's pretty much AI powered end to end. So we quite literally hold your hand to building out and doing your market research, building out your offer, building out your marketing assets, building out your social proof assets, building out your sales letters and scripts and your funnels. Everything's pretty much done for you. AI powered end to end. This is in version 2 where we can get you 15K, 20K, 25K cash collected in only 10 to 14 day cycle. As in literally 10 days from now, August 29th, you would have 15K cash collected. I digress though. What we're talking about here is version 1, but what I will say is some of the stuff that we've changed from version 1, like what we would do in version 2. And I mean, you'll see once I get into it. So, all right, so boom. First thing that we obviously had to do, this is step by step what we did for Cecil. Market research. That's obviously the foundations of your YouTube business. So what we actually did was we warmed up the audience with polls and questionnaires and proceeded to do direct market research. And by the way, side note, side tangent, you pay attention right now. This is going to be very valuable for you. So just so you know that overall steps of what it would take for you to generate 10K, 50K, 20K cash collected, 25K, whatever the case may be. So we warmed up the audience with polls and questionnaires. They were work with me forums where people were able to answer some of the questions, name, age, gender. We got about 500. You can see over here about 500 responses. We use that to do direct market research. So we present the audience with the in-depth Google form. That's that. And that allowed us to pull direct data on what they valued most from Cecil. We helped them direct market research calls with avatars. We uncovered their pains, desires, situations, pricing, willingness, and we clarified the different total segments of this audience and brainstormed which segment we wanted to pursue. So out of this, like Google form, there was multiple people, and like you can just see right here. What do you do for a living? Teach. I'm a student. Music. I'm a student. Audio production. So you can just imagine, and even like from the highlighters here, there was just a ton of different sort of segments that we could have pursued. Like some people were advanced pianists, some people wanted to do music production, or some people wanted to learn like the trumpet or the drums or something like there's a whole bunch of segments that we could pursue. So we had to figure out what was the most profitable and most leverage for him. What would I do now though? Pretty much I would do the exact same thing, but it's just I've pretty much created everything so that it's just simpler and faster with AI that you can get all this data within one day. Before it took us a couple days to do so, but we can get all this within a day or so. And the only longest part is just waiting for your audience to reply to a Google form. But everything can be managed and understood and analyzed with AI nowadays. And we've done that. We built a GPT for it. So why did we do this though? The only true way to build a six, seven figure offer is by going directly to the source of people who you'd be selling the offer to. Within your audience, you're going to have multiple sub niches and demographics. You must know exactly who you want to speak to and therefore who you want to sell to. So, like I said, you're going to have multiple people who want different things. You need to figure out the exact person, because if you don't, you're not going to have clarity with your offer. You're not going to be able to really live inside the minds of your avatar. You need to alienate everybody else and focus on one specific person. So, like, just currently right now, the reason why you struggle to say your offer is just simply because you don't know who you're really speaking to. It's just it at the end of the day. This means their language, their pain points, the symptoms of those pain points, what their thought patterns are. This also means you don't know which segment of your audience you're actually speaking to. This means the specific type of person in your audience you're speaking to. So, like I said, there's advanced pianists. And like I said, even here, even in Cecil's audience, he had multiple types of pianists in his audience. So, yes, we targeted pianists in this launch, but there were multiple types we could have targeted. We chose to target the pianists who have been struggling, even though Cecil very well could have taught advanced pianists. And the pianists who have been struggling usually falls under like beginners and intermediates, but Cecil definitely could have like targeted advanced pianists. It's just we found that the intermediate pianists were the most leveraged to target. So what does this actually mean for you? So everything, of course, is always going to start with market research. If you're confused about who you're selling to, you haven't done proper research. So people only buy from people who they feel deeply understand them, who feel as if they are deeply into their mind, their thoughts, what they think about, what they're going through, etc., etc. So if you start with market research, everything else becomes 10 times easier. And like I said, this is just a flywheel. And so next, we had offer creation. So that's turning the research into a monetizable transformation, not just selling and putting a product on your stand store. It's an actual, direct, monetizable transformation from beginning to end, current situation to desired situation. So what we did is we took all the market research data and mapped the most both profitable and leveraged path forwards. We didn't just choose any option. We outlined every key component of the chosen avatar, the pains, the desires, the situations, the values, the thought patterns, the etc. the etc. is funny. And of course, after that, we positioned the offer with the only monetization path that edu/info YouTubers must follow if they want to run anything else in the future, like courses or communities. That path is a high-ticket mentorship. Before you can even run a course or create a course or run a community, you must run the high-ticket mentorship path first, because that is the only way you're going to even know what to put in a low-ticket course or a low-ticket membership that actually makes people join fast, stay long, and feel like they are indebted to you because you are quite literally living in their heads. This is going to go over most of you guys' heads because you guys don't think about the future. You guys don't think long term. You guys just want the quick money now. But there's a reason why you will continue to struggle, and why there's every single person on school, every single one of the community owners always falls off. Bro, I've been in this game for 2-3 years at this point. I've been here since I've been on school since before everyone was even popular. My first time on school was like April 2024, April 2023. One of those. I think it was 2023. It was def 2023. What? Not 2024. The people who are on the top now are not were the people who are on the top before are not on the top now. That's just the truth. Because they didn't do the right path. They didn't follow the right path. They're not basing their business off of true transformations and true actually knowing your avatar, not just making money. But the irony is when you focus on just your avatar and the results that you can get for them, you make more money, way more money than everybody else in your niche. The people who are at the top of the top of the top all have the best customer results. It is not oh my gosh, it's like, bro, it's not even like a question. So some of the things we did, we had the offer mastery sheet, and I'm literally giving you some of the sauce here. Like, these are some of the things that we went over and specifically dialed in so that we can know the avatar. We had to ask some market questions. We had to ask their current situation and their deep-rooted problems, their desire situation, their problem and promise questions, their market awareness level, their sophistication level. We had to do a pre-mortem to make sure that we can figure out what would happen that would make them fail and not get to the result that they want. We had to create a unique selling proposition. We had to create a bridge, a path. This is some sauce. You can literally take some of this and figure out, once you do your market research, you can use that market research to now attribute it and apply it to some of these things so that you can specifically figure out basically the components of your offer. And this is what the DwavesAcquisition offer mastery sheet. And I mean, as you can see, I mean, this is phenomenal. Like he commended me very specifically on this offer mastery sheet because I know it's phenomenal. And that's the same thing as well with the offer positioning sheet. So the most valuable elements of any mentorship, and like I said, you have to start with a mentorship if you really want to last in this game for years. You need an Auburn-sized kickoff call, roadmap, upcoming course content, community of the limited spots you let in. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. These are the most valuable elements, but you don't have to choose every element. Like for our mentorship and our fulfillment, we didn't have a community. And like I said, I'm giving you more sauce. These are some of the things we had to position. Once we did the offer mastery, we went from offer mastery to offer positioning. And that was putting stuff together to guarantee the specific promises, the bonuses, the scarcity and urgency, etc., etc. So, and why we did it, because we crafted everything from scratch from the data compiled. We ensured zero gaps. We had extreme clarity on who we were serving, their pains, and how to actually solve them. We were able to outline and know the answers to hard questions and just how to actually get the avatar to the problems and result. We nailed the pricing, the roadmap, all favorite situations of the customer so that we can understand, like, okay, what's going to prevent them from getting to their transformation. But also nailed the messaging and how to actually speak to the avatar. So imagine your offer and messaging so down packed that the avatar you're helping is quite literally the only person who could ever resonate with your messaging and content. We alienated everyone else but the specific avatar we were trying to get, which were intermediate pianists. So, and this is what happens when you dial in your avatar based on real data. So, what this means for you specifically, if your offer isn't built from real data, you will be gambling. It is as simple as that. You're not going to understand why people buy, and much less, of course, you're not even going to be able to attract the right person to your offer, as you won't know how to create the correct messaging to do so in the first place because you haven't built your offer on real data and you haven't gone through that process of figuring out their current situation, figuring out their desired situation, because the market research isn't enough. The offer tangibles and offer specifics allow you to pretty much just basically map out all just the avatar in itself, because once you figure out what angle you want to target, you now need to dive deep into that angle and who that person really is. Because once you figure out who that person really is how you can actually build an offer for them. So when it's built directly from your avatar's deepest pains plus desires, high ticket, it just stops feeling like selling. It just feels like the obvious next step for your avatar because you've done everything you can to understand them from a very, very deep and foundational level. You are speaking to them directly in their minds. They feel as if like, dude, like this guy just knows me. This girl just knows me. It's just the next step for them. You're not even selling at that point. We had no objections on calls. That's my point. We had no objections other than price. People understood exactly why they needed it. No problems at all. The only objection was price, quite literally. I wish I could show some proof. Maybe I probably could. I could do like the sales calls of Cecil, but if you don't do this though, you're always going to be out competed by people who do know what their avatar thinks, feels, and values. That's going to be my clients. It's going to be me as well. You're going to be competing with people who quite literally know what your avatar thinks about on a daily basis. How are you going to be able to win if I know what your avatar thinks about on a daily basis? If I know what educational information YouTubers think about on a daily basis, how are you going to beat me? You're not. And that's my point. That's what I'm trying to say. You need to know your avatar literally down to what they think. Dream avatar journal about them if you need to. Like think about their perspective. You have to go through this process, and you're just gonna be in forever uphill battle compared to them. And I forgot to do this. Like, what would I do now? We have created a GPT with all of this data and pretty much all data that we have with DwavesAcquisition of offer creation, and we can do this and craft your offer and build your offer in one day, completely tailored to your market and your avatar. Yeah, we've done that. It's phenomenal. It creates seven-figure offers like it's nothing. Yep, yep, yep. Third, we had marketing posts. We had to warm the market and actually create demand before we actually presented the offer towards his customers and his audience. So we use a mechanism titled the Whisper and Tease, which is pretty much just planting seeds of momentum and desire while we build out the offer. So we're building out the offer, we're building out the assets and stuff like that. We are still though posting on our social medias, Instagram, email, YouTube, community posts, group platforms, whatever the case may be, just planting seeds of like, wow, I have something huge coming. I have something amazing for you guys because, like I said, you've already crafted and you know your offer, your avatar at this point. So you know exactly what they like, you know exactly what they need, you know exactly what they desire, you know exactly what they go through. So you're just planting seeds of momentum and desire that slowly tease them, that tell them like, okay, I'm gonna have something to fix all these problems that you guys told me about. I'm gonna have something to fix all these pains and things that you guys are doing. Like, for example, his avatar, they were tired of watching endless YouTube tutorials. So we planted seeds saying, oh, okay, you're not gonna have to do this anymore, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Of course, you frame it in a specific way, and I mean, we have the mechanisms and paradigms that show you how to do so. And yeah, whisper and teasers are designed to subtly build anticipation and demand. And I'm not gonna read all that. So we also compile social proof, and that's like past wins, testimonials, DMs, screenshots. And the segment that you decide to pursue, it should be something that you have a lot of experience in, something that you know how to do. So don't just choose anything. Choose something that you know you can get a great result in. And Cecil, even though he hadn't specifically sold that before or even actually helped direct people, he has helped people in the past for free. He had people he was helping with in the DMs and in messages and in emails, etc., etc. That's all you need for this first launch and presentation of your offer. You don't need crazy amount of social proof. You should still have some, and if you have any, the more the merrier. But you don't need crazy amounts because this is just the first launch. You're not trying to launch and open up for the whole entire world. You just, we want to get like 5 to 10 people into this first launch so that we can focus on getting them the best results possible, so that we can then eventually scale to more people in the future. And of course, we have to build sales letters because, of course, this is marketing posts. So that goes through like sales letters. That goes through marketing, like content, etc. Whatever the case may be. So we wrote a written sales letter, and as well as we wrote a sales letter that Cecil then recorded and used to present the offer in a compelling format. And of course, we had to create marketing posts to explain why this new offer mattered, as well as warm the audience further to ensure that, okay, and this actually goes a lot more deeper, because the marketing post followed a specific psychological theme for the day that just did its very best in brainwashing. And when I say brainwashing, not in a bad way, but in a way that actually presents it to them in a way that makes them like, wow, I need this. And of course, we're doing this. I don't even have to say it. We're doing this obviously ethically, whatever the case may be. But we're psychologically engineering their beliefs so that, wow, they truly feel as if the offer is for them. So it gets a lot deeper than that. If you want me to explain it maybe a little bit more, you can DM me on Instagram or you can comment or something like that, and I can explain it a little bit deeper. And I will give you a good message to for you to understand. But this is what we did for marketing posts. What would I do now? Well, we have created a GPT that creates whisper and tease posts. It creates your full sales letters and video sales letter scripts and all that, completely tailored to your market research, completely tailored to your offer, as well as we have created a GPT that creates all your marketing posts for any single platform that you can imagine. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. And it does this in a day, less than a day. And that's my point. This took a couple weeks to months to complete. We have compressed it and compiled it in version 2 of Squeeze Launch System to now do this in only less than a day. So, yeah, it's beautiful. So, why did we do this? You cannot just announce your new offer cold. That is just a way for for it to fall on deaf ears, because it can be specifically for them. They could specifically need it and want it, and they still won't act. Your audience needs to be psychologically primed, and that's what I was talking about in the previous thing where I'm talking about belief engineering and psychologically, brainwashing your prospects. This is the whole purpose of the whisper and tease. We gradually tease and gradually warm them just by planting curiosity, intrigue, and desire so that you don't even need to sell. Because yes, you can drop it but you just have to do a lot of selling because people don't understand the offer. People don't know why they should buy it. Even if it is tailored towards them, you're just gonna have to do a lot of selling, and we don't want to do that because we don't want to convince people. Of course, you want your post to do the convincing for you. So yeah, social proof is not an option for announcing your new offer. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect social proof, but you should still have it. People must feel like your offer is safe, credible, and inevitable, and other people have gotten the result. Sales letters pre-sway the avatar, which just means pretty much you're just persuading them to buy before they even hop on a call with you. And that's what the psychological brainwashing does. That's what the belief engineering. It's all a big flywheel. And sales letters persuade the avatar into understanding each and every component of the offer so that when they actually hop on a call with you, they're pretty much 100% ready to buy. And that was the point, and that's what happened with Cecil as well. And with barely any objections, that they understand quite literally every component of what you were selling before they even hop on the call. So you don't have to do any selling because they're already sold on themselves. That's why they're on the call in the first place. Every marketing post and the launch of your new offer is engineered to act as a psychological lever and not just random content to be posted, but each one stacks a psychological trigger such as fear of missing out, urgency, proof, scarcity, desire, momentum, all these psychological triggers that make one feel as if wow, I need to purchase this right now. I need to get in right now. And that's what I'm saying. Every marketing post was engineered based around these psychological levers. Every piece of content had a psychological lever or multiple psychological levers. FOMO, urgency proof, doesn't matter. All of these is what sparks and incites action. So, what does it mean for you? If you if you skip, what are you talking about, Divine? If you skip warming your audience, you will struggle to sell. And of course, this is going to demotivate you big time because you're coming across a whole bunch of objections and resistance and people always, asking you, why should I do this? What's in it for me? You're just going to have a whole bunch of questions that you don't need to ask because you want it to be simple, right? You've already gone through a lot of trouble of grinding and just being a YouTuber. Yeah, you're just gonna have to do a lot of justification, and I don't want you to do that. So make sure you actually warm up your audience. So just plant desire, proof, and tease the value before you even present the offer or sell it, because buyers who are already convinced and pretty much already sold on your offer are just better. They're people who you don't want to have to be like Sisyphus. This is from the Greek mythology where Sisyphus he got cast into not Tartarus. I think it was just the underworld, and he was forced to roll up this rock for the rest of eternity. Every time he rolled up the rock to the top, the rock would roll back down. Can you imagine, bro? That's like hell. Anyway, and funnels. This is just making sure the interest that you gain and garner throughout the launch has a place to go. And what we did, we kept it simple. Leanest funnel possible to capture max interest with as minimal steps as possible. Our funnel system just took control of the buyer journey. We just were able to have one link that took everyone, no matter what platform they were on, to the same page and same step-by-step process that moved every single lead to the sale. And of course, we had to integrate the funnel into all your the marketing posts and like the YouTube descriptions and pinned comments and stories, etc., etc. But everybody went to the same place. We kept things as simple as possible. And once someone was in our funnel, we could send emails and like text as necessary to nudge them forward if they got stuck anywhere in the funnel. And what would I do now? Pretty much we've kept this the same as well. Maybe just a little bit leaner, maybe just a little bit less steps, and like we fix some things, of course. We'll get to bottlenecks like later down in this video. In simple terms, the funnel was just simply whether they received access to the funnel from a marketing post, like on a YouTube community post or an email, or if they had to DM first for them to receive the funnel. But anything, whether it was a marketing post or a DM, they got sent to the same video. And this was pretty much the video sales letter this is just a video that explained the offer in simple terms. So we got 841 views because it's an unlisted video, so it's pretty much like you can only access it if you get the link to it. But I mean, we had a whole bunch of people just commenting like, hey, can I get this? Hey, can I get this? And they were commenting the call to action that we were telling them to comment that allowed them to we told them to comment this before they actually click on the application. It just makes more engagement. People see like, oh wow, other people are commenting this. I need to get in now before it's too late. So we sent them to this video, and then the link that's here, and it's not here now because obviously the launch was over. It was just a link to an application. They went through an application, and then after that, they went to a call. Literally, either they went to a call or like a lower price offer. That's a separate topic for another video, but pretty much you can just focus on the fact that they went to a call after the application. And why we did it is because without a funnel, people forget or get distracted. And that's just simple terms. Like people just get distracted. This in social media nowadays is just too much information, too much attention. Like it's hard to hold people's attention nowadays. So if you don't have a funnel, people are just gonna forget. And this happens even if the offer is just meant for them. It's just life happens. So you need a funnel. But all you need is a simple funnel. Complex ones are just unnecessary. Like I know like funnels is probably like a term for you that's like, oh, sounds like a lot of work and like just kind of hard. It's not. Like you don't even need the funnel we had. You just need a simple maybe DM your warmest leads as well as maybe put up a few posts and then maybe send them to a video or maybe you can send them straight to maybe book a call with you or something like that. Of course, the funnel that we set up is just so that we don't have to sell that much. But if you need help with funnels, you can just DM me. I'll help you. We just want to keep things as simple as possible for the avatar to get to the destination that we want them to go to. So funnels, simple terms, let us just capture the attention while it's hot and just convert like people who just found your content into actually booked a call and actually made a payment with you. So the funnel is going to work 24/7, obviously. And I mean, this other stuff is just, I mean, you guys know this. This is just, it's good fun. A funnel is good. I'm sure you know this. So what this means for you is that just right now, your viewers are probably engaging with you. They're probably telling you good things. They probably want to buy from you. But you are leaving money on the table because you don't have a way to convert that into sales. And that's what the funnel is. It captures the attention and nurtures them over time so that they can actually become a sale in your payment processor. And that's the whole point. So you're leaving money on the table every single time because there's no system that turns that attention into dollars. So without a funnel, you are going to be manually chasing, like going to DMs back and forth, like trying to remember who's interested. And with the probably tens of thousands of people you have in your audience, that's just chaos. So the funnel is just a bridge between attention and payment. That's in simple terms. Like we don't even need to talk about anything further. The funnel is just a bridge between all the views you get and payments and like actually having money in your bank account. And sales mastery. This is just converting conversations into cash. So this could be whether you decide to take sales calls or not, whether you have conversations in the DMs. We took sales calls and I recommend you do it because it's just easier. I mean, when people actually see your face, it also just it's like a trigger to them, like, oh my gosh, I'm on a call with my favorite creator. It's like awesome for them. So we built Cecil a complete A to Z sales script that covered exactly what to say from hello to like collecting the payment, which eliminated all hesitation and any improvisation that he might have had to have done. This is the A to Z sales script right here. This is just the first part of it. It's a pretty decently long script, but it does its job, and it literally, I mean, dude, it did everything. It did everything for us. And actually, the script itself didn't even really do too much. He just followed it and just followed the script. The script is awesome, but a lot of the work is just done, like I said, before the call even occurs. And like I said, yeah, due to the work done prior to pre-splayed and pretty much hammer the avatar with everything they need to know before they even could hop on a call with Cecil. Sales calls were literally layup lines, like just barely, like bro, no objections other than price, because obviously not everyone's gonna be able to afford this stuff. And yeah, objections were pre-handled for the call through the marketing and funnel. So by the time someone got to the call, they'd already pretty much had their mind made up. So and that's the whole value of this. And if needed, we built for Cecil a full end-to-end objection handling vault as well, so he could confidently handle any curveball without scrambling, stalling, or losing momentum. So yeah, even if he did have objections, we had an objection handling vault that shows you how to cover and respond and break an objection step by step by step. You could literally pull up while you had your call. Quite literally, you could just read from it. That's the value of it. That's why we created it. And what would I do now? We are in the middle of actually creating a sales GPT where you can literally have a role play sales call where you can have it with your ideal avatar and your specific prospect, and you can literally role play just so that you can get better at sales as well. So we're in the process of creating that. That'll be done in the next 1 to 2 months for sure. Yeah, we innovate here at DwavesAcquisition, and I mean definitely got some even bigger plans. I won't say now, but why did we do this though? So especially if you've never sold high ticket before, you just need a simple framework for ensuring that you can just pretty much diagnose and then prescribe the right solution to your avatar. And that solution is obviously your offer if they are a fit for it. So it's just so that you can help both you, yourself, as well as the avatar. So because obviously, most likely, you just have no idea how to structure a sales conversation in general that actually even leads to payment. Like most likely, if you didn't have a specific script, you would just lose it, or not lose it. You would wing it, and then probably lose the sale. And yeah, or overcomplicate it and talk yourselves out of the close. And there's a simple process to sales that like is repeatable pretty much every single time. It's just like most YouTubers and educational or informational YouTubers just don't understand. And that's why we had to create that thing for Cecil, because he wouldn't even have known. He probably would have just, just done some of the things that I just talked about here. And like I said, yeah, pre-handling objections and questions was the biggest lever that we pulled and that you should be pulling as well, so that sales aren't even sales, it's just a conversation. So, and then yeah, an objection handling vault just means that you're never caught off guard. So as soon as you hear the objection, you can immediately have it up because you'll probably already have it up, like if you're on the call, and then you know exactly how to respond it, reframe, and loop back to a close without losing any momentum in the call. And in simple terms, what this means for you is if you ever left a call thinking they were so interested what happened, this is why you just didn't have a repeatable system. So there's a lot more that went into like the sales. If you want a little bit more in depth, I can, explain. But we did most of the work is done prior to the call. Sales don't even really matter. It's just a conversation. It's just diagnosis and prescribing. If you look at sales like that, that's all you ever need to even worry about. Because that's all sales is. It's just okay, what problem does this person have? Can I help them and solve their problem? Okay, if I can, let me prescribe the solution. And then they pay for their medicine pretty much. Oh, I'm giving you bars, gang. Um, so yeah, you should just never rely on winging sales. It's just a simple script. And like I said, yes, your biggest left to pull is ensuring the prospect has all the information necessary for them to hop on the call in the first place and understand all components of your offer. Um, yeah, and yeah, like I said, this system makes closing feel natural. This system could help you close 20K in the next 7 to 10 days. Like it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. If you have questions of that, DM me. I can explain to you how the simple system could help you close 20K in the next 7 to 10 days. I need to drink water. My throat is fried. So cool. First week's fulfillment material. So this is ensuring that you can deliver so that you can actually then proceed to scale after you launch without breaking. So what we did is we built out the only essential materials needed for week one of the one-to-one piano mentorship coaching program. You do not need to build out big courses, big, workshops, big documents. You don't need to build out all these like complex stuff. You just need to build out the necessary things for the first week of your customers being onboarded into your high ticket mentorship, your high ticket coaching program, whatever the case may be. And it's not even a program yet. It develops into a program in the future. But right now, it's just sort of like a one to one mentorship that's pretty hands on. The only thing you need are specific onboarding materials like onboarding email, maybe like a welcome form and stuff like that. Just things so that you can understand the customer. You need a dashboard that they can, have access to as well as you have access to as well, so that you can track their progress. You can track, they can track their own progress. You can also track their progress, as well as there's other core components needed to help new customers just get early wins, and like that's explained right here in this. Oops, you should not be seeing that. All right. We have some things here where we have a start here video. I ignored that because obviously it's loading, but I just took a screenshot. This is just sort of a copy and sort of what we created for Cecil, what we create for all DwavesAcquisition customers and clients, where we build out the dashboard for you, where your customers have access to seeing the progress and wins, seeing the week one execution, having access to all the materials like the roadmap. This dashboard is a lot more extensive. I just don't want to show everything. I just want to kind of give you a sneak peek. We built a full fulfillment dashboard for you so that you can actually have your new customers onboarded very easily into your system and proceed to actually get wins. And right now, the customers that are going through Cecil stuff right now are just winning because it's just so like once everything's structured and simple and repeatable, it's just fulfillment is very simple. It's very 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 simple. It's just if you don't have a system for it, that's when it becomes complicated and complex in your head. So like I said, and that's what I'm saying. I'm just like I feel like what is the word? Like a broken record. Like I'm saying the same thing that before I even read it on my screen because I just know these things like so ingrained in me. We focus on simplicity and clarity, like I just was saying, and that's it. No complex build outs because the only essential need for simple fulfillment and simple onboarding were just the things I just outlined: fulfillment dashboard and onboarding materials to just make the customer feel welcome and ready. So why we did it is just like, of course, the first week sets the tone for the entire customer relationship slash fulfillment. If it's messy, unclear, and underwhelming, your buyer is not going to be excited they just dropped 4,000 on some bullshit. They're going to have buyer's remorse. And you're going to get refunded. It's as easy as that. They're not going to feel like the money they spent is worth it. And that's why you see a lot of these people who maybe, the title, the guru course seller, is because the guru course seller just didn't provide amazing results for their customers because all they cared about was the money. They took the money and just moved on with their lives because they didn't care what happened after the person paid them. It's actually sad. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, a strong week one experience locks in momentum, ensures people feel their money was well spent, and primes them for long-term transformation. So building out a huge course or program or something similar, it's the worst thing you can do, bro. That's the worst thing you can do. You don't even know what actually works. So that's why we focus on building week by week, 1 week at a time. You just want to remove friction and create excitement and prepare them for the transformation for the rest of the mentorship. And what this means for you, if your customers don't and slash can't get immediate clarity and some sort of dopaminergic win right away, as in like as soon as they pay, they get a whole bunch of stuff that just builds the momentum, makes them be like, wow, I'm so excited for this. This is gonna be awesome. Like that's the onboarding material, that's a welcome form, that's the dashboard. Imagine you sell something to one of your customers and they see a big dashboard that's just tailored to them where they can track their wins, they can see sort of the roadmap and see like what's gonna happen in the next couple weeks. Like, oh my gosh, I'm getting excited even think about it. So yeah, if they don't get that, they're gonna just stall, and they're also just gonna doubt their decision because you're selling something at multiple four figures. If you don't have something that's exciting that makes them feel as if like, wow, the money I spent is like was really worth it. I mean, dude, they're gonna be less committed to your system and process until you prove it to them that they should be, and because like first impressions matter a lot. If they already think that this wasn't even worth it, do you think they're gonna put as much effort and time commitment into your system and process? No, they're not. So a simple week one slash onboarding experience. The sole goal is just to ensure momentum and just so that people know where to start, what to do, and just immediately feel that sense of win and progress and dopamine. So furthermore, as an aside, so this is going to be a rant here. If your fulfillment is messy or not clear or not valuable and actually transformative, this is most likely where you are losing the most sales long term because, and let me explain why, because most likely your product sucks and isn't actually transformative and actually getting like a genuine, amazing result. And of course, because we already know that foundations for scaling is what we focus on here, and most likely you haven't been focusing on the foundation. So this is all downstream of failures to do market research and failures to create a proper offer. So if you can't like do more proper market research and know your avatar and create an offer based off this avatar that you now know, like you're not gonna be able to design a fulfillment experience that actually changes their life. So all of these problems are one and the same. That's why just fixing the views problem does not get you to your desired vision. It just doesn't. It just doesn't, dude. And I'm gonna try and spread this message as far and as wide as possible, and do my efforts to make sure every educational slash informational YouTuber can hear this. So, creating the best product is your biggest lever long term to a multi 6, 7, 8 figure YouTube business, and that's just simple because your great product is what is actually going to get amazing and transformative results. Your great and transformative result is what gets more customers. When people see other people are winning, it is the same thing as like Apple and Tesla. There's a reason why Apple is number one because everyone uses Apple. There's a reason why Tesla is becoming the number one car brand because everyone is getting a Tesla. Everyone is getting a Tesla, and also their product is amazing. Apple's iPhone that I'm using to record this is also amazing. And that's the point. Creating the best product is the biggest lever. And it's what will allow you. I mean, bro, people, I don't got no more words on this. Just the way you do that is simple. I just can't imagine not focusing on the product. Just know your avatar inside and out. Put yourself in their shoes. And then ask yourself, what's the clearest, fastest, high value path I can give them to real results? Like, close your eyes, put yourself in their shoes. Like, what is actually what I can do to get them their real results? That's what I do on a daily basis, just so I can know what's the best thing that I can give to my customers and make things as easy as possible for them. That's why I pretty much build everything for them because it's like I don't even want them to have to worry about building out a freaking fulfillment dashboard or building out their marketing posts and not knowing how to do it. I just build it for them. And then the last component is just loving your customers and love what you do. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to talk too much about that because you need to love your customers if you want to actually build something amazing for them. You need to love what you do so that you can actually spend the time where you don't see the result for it now, you see it later. And what would I do now? I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just maybe make the fulfillment dashboard better, cleaner, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Just like little tweaks. And then finally, the launch, execution, and results. So what did we actually do? We just launched. Like that was it. We had done all this stuff that we just talked about is pretty much just so that we could end up launching and launching in the most simplest way. Launching composed of just 3 daily priorities, which was just posting daily marketing and dynamic content, appointment setting, and responding to hot leads and taking sales calls. So everything that we did prior was just so that we didn't have to do this during the launch. And that's so that we can just keep things focused on the actions that actually move the business and launch forward and actually lead to sales because the launch is the most important part of the launch is sales. So and yeah, that's it. You do this for a certain amount of time and you will achieve the results desired of your launch. And there's gonna be some I'm gonna get into the bottlenecks and why we didn't get to our results because like, dude, me and Cecil were supposed to print 20, 30, 40K easily, but a lot of hiccups, dude. Oh my gosh, a lot of hiccups. But we're gonna scale him so hard over the next couple months. So what I do now, pretty much the same thing, just tweak things that broke or didn't work. Make things cleaner, seamless. That's all it is at this point, just re-optimization. This is sort of like the Trello board that we kept things where you just focus on one day at a time, you focus on the goal of the day. And this I've made a lot cleaner. So like that's also something that I would do now. And yeah, once we get into why we did it, yeah. During launch, anything outside these three actions is just sabotage. Like everything, and let me just make sure I'm recording still. Yeah, during launch, anything outside of those three actions is sabotage. So like you just need to focus on sales. Funnels, edits, or extra posts that should have been handled for the launch, it's all extra. You should not be doing that during the launch because you need to just focus on sales. So these three levers are the only activities that directly generate sales momentum. So focusing exclusively here ensures you have urgency, energy, and audience excitement peak all at the same time, and that just turns your launch into just predictable cash. It's like you're able to know what to do on a daily basis, and those actions directly lead to cash. So it's just repeating them every single day and doing more of them. And dude, it's so satisfying seeing the sales come in. It's like there's no other dopamine like it. I'm even getting excited for my next launch, dude, because that joint gonna print. And yeah, this is just our core DwavesAcquisition acquisition launch philosophy. Keep it simple, keep it cash focused. It's as simple as that. And what does this mean for you? If you're still tweaking funnels or juggling tasks mid launch, you're burning time, leaking sales. Do everything just before and just put all your energy into your marketing, sales calls, and just closing. It's as simple as that. Launches are simple. You just repeat the same action that generates revenue over and over again each day. It's very, very simple until the launch ends. It's simple. You get cash, get money, serve your customers. It's as simple as that. And I just want to also say here, so notice how each of these little triangles here had its own sort of like flywheel. It's all because each one is just a flywheel for each other. But what you didn't know is actually, let's write this. This in itself is also a flywheel because every single launch will always be the same. Even after this first launch, you still have to go back, see whether your market research now reflects your customers, see whether your offer now reflects your customers and the people who actually bought. You know, and now you create marketing posts based off new social proof and new sort of tweaks to the offer and new sort of angles that you've finalized. Funnels, I mean, you can now change certain things on your landing page that now reflects your new offer. Sales mastery pretty much static, but you can tweak and adapt your sales and how you go about sales based on your new offer, the market research that you did. Same thing with your fulfillment materials and like just your like what's necessary for week one. You change maybe the roadmap. You change like okay, what maybe this didn't work last time. What would work now in terms of like getting them results? And then same thing with launch. It's the same process overall, but there are certain things that might need to be tweaked based on the avatar, based on new information and new data that you get from previous launches that you've done. And it's a flywheel in itself because you can repeat all of these actions each time and pretty much predictably get a 30K, 40K, 50K, 60K, 70K, 100K plus cash collected launch. Of course, in the first couple launches, you should not do that. You are going to just break your fulfillment and you're not going to get good results for your customers if you have 50 people on mentorship. That's why the first launch, we just focus on getting 10 people into the mentorship. The next launch, we can focus on getting 20. The next launch after that should be 30 to, no, probably 20 and 25. Then you should realistically only do 3 launches where you're focusing on high ticket mentorship. The last thing you're going to focus on, and we're going to talk about it in depth at the end of this video, please stay tuned to the end, dude, because, dude, you are going to miss out on so much value if you do not stay tuned. I'm telling you, this is value that could quite literally change your life over the next months. And it only takes a couple months, dude. And then in a couple months, you can have a $100,000 plus a month YouTube business. Of course, I'm not saying you're going to get $100,000 plus a month YouTube business for FTC purposes and stuff like that, but I'm saying you can be well on your way. And I'm not even going to promise that because FTC, I ain't playing with them. I'm scared. I ain't gonna lie. So I'm done making them income claims. Yeah, but it's all a flywheel. But the first 3, you should do 2, 3 launches, and then the last thing after you've done 2, 3 launches is now turning everything and all of your systems that you've gotten and now all the data that you've gotten from the first 3 launches into an actual repeatable system that you can now sell on demand without extra additional marginalized time on your part, where you're putting in all your time trying to get results in the trenches with your customers. Like, do that for the first couple launches so that you can get all the data on your avatar and your customer, but then turn all that into a repeatable system that now people can get results without you. And that's the whole point. That is the whole point of the DwavesAcquisition philosophy. And that is what I explain to all my customers. But we will talk about it a lot more in depth. But let's talk. Okay, let's talk. So, of course, it'd be impossible for the launch of your proven offer to not have the shortest of bottlenecks. That's the truth. And truth be told, I'll be honest, pretty much everything broke. So, one, engagement wasn't really there. That's the truth. Engagement prior to the launch was just somewhat low on the social medias that mattered besides YouTube. It was kind of like confusing to me because I didn't even realize it until like maybe a couple of days before the launch. I'm like, Instagram doesn't really get that many views on Reels. It was kind of like interesting. And I realized he wasn't really posting on Reels. And that's my fault. I should have like told him to be doing so a lot more consistently, but he wasn't. So we did what we could on our end to maximize and get more engagement across those other social medias. I mean, his other social medias were pretty good, but like Instagram was a very big killer for us. I feel like 'cause Instagram is very important. But rather than put most of the attention on trying to get new eyeballs and attention to the offer, we just doubled down on the warmest leads. Like pretty much, we just focused on the people who just kind of were screaming, saying that they wanted this offer. And I mean, this just 100% worked because obviously these are people who want the offer out of anybody. And I mean, we can attract new eyeballs, which we did, but like, why not just focus on people who directly are so warmed up to the point where they are directly reaching out to him or, you know what I'm saying, like commenting and all that stuff, et cetera, or already in the pipeline, already in the funnel. So we were able to squeeze the juice out of leads who already said that they wanted the offer, which was a lot of leads in his DMs, comments, as well as just in our pipeline in general. And yeah, burnt out, scrambling last minute, and this was probably our biggest problem. One of our biggest problems. I'll tell you the biggest problem. I say the best for last. We were just burnt out, scrambling last minute, and we just had a lot of stuff going on. So, simply enough, our philosophy is getting everything done for a launch can be a blessing and a curse. And 100% of the time, 90% of the time, 99% of the time is going to be a blessing. It was only a curse in this situation is because we just didn't pace ourselves. And we didn't give ourselves enough time to get everything done before the launch actually began. And yeah, this is the case for me as a Cecil. We were pulling in all nighters, like just to get everything done in time for the launch date. Even now, like, as I think about it, bro, I get like low key PTSD because we were staying up for 2 days at a time. So it was actually disgusting. It's not healthy. This is not the standard at all. This is not even like what happens on a regular. We just had a time limit, bro. I had to travel. We just were trying to get everything done in time. We were just kind of just tired of like waiting and stuff like that. So we just kind of pressed the gas. And yeah, it just led to burnout and drained energy for the first few days of the launch. I'm not gonna lie. Probably from him, definitely from me. And yeah, this definitely reflected in our output. Launch was just scrappier and messier than it should have been. A lot of mistakes, a lot of stuff was going on. Probably because my brain wasn't in the right place. I don't know on Cecil's end, but on my part, I know for a fact my brain just wasn't in the right place. And the fix, I mean, bro, there's just no real fix. You can't fight biology. We made our decision, but we now know what to not do for the next launches that we have. We're gonna have a lot better prep. We're gonna manage our energy way better, and we're just gonna have way more structure. We're not gonna do what we did the first time, dude. We're not gonna be on as much of a time crunch as we did for that one. So yeah, funnels, links, automations, systems malfunction. This happened, but it's not gonna happen again because like I needed to watch to figure out what was going to break. And yeah, the funnels broke. Leads sometimes didn't receive links, whatever the case may be. These are simple fixes. The point I'm just trying to make is that the launch reveals what actually breaks, but needs to be fixed in real time. So this is okay because you now learn what you need to fix for next time, etc. That's it. So it's now permanently fixed for any launch moving forwards. That's the point as well I will make with you as well. You just need to launch, bro. If you're scared of like things like of trying to make things perfect and all that stuff, it's not. It's just not going to be. Just launch, fix it as it goes, and that's the same even for the energy thing. Like, make sure you're managing your energy. Make sure you know. I mean, I'm not gonna go on a tangent right here, but just I'll focus on this one. Just launch because things are gonna break. It's fine. Just fix it as it goes. It's just what it is. Like, then okay. This is the main problem. This is actually the second worst problem. There's even a worse problem worse than this one. That that sucks. But this one, oh my gosh, this one is what has made us and had us at a 10K revenue launch. My phone broke mid launch in a different country, and I had no communication to any of the Go high level stuff, which is like where we hosted our funnels, any of my systems, the computer, and I had no access to Cecil at all. Like throughout for the last like 3 4 days of the launch, so this was just killer, bro. Fourth day into the launch, my phone broke in a whole different country. I lost access to all the systems and communication with Cecil. I was in Dominican Republic, bro. With no access to my phone, systems, leads, my clients, etc. for the last 3 or 4 days of the launch, which are quite literally some of the most important days of the launch. And dude, like, I brought my computer, and I thought I brought my laptop, or I thought I brought my charger, and I didn't. And like that was just insane to me, cause like, bro, like that's insane to me. but I didn't bring it, and it was just like, bro, like, okay, what can I do now? And my phone, my computer obviously died, my phone died, and yeah, I just had no access to Cecil, and Cecil basically had to self-run the teachings and systems, like pretty much by himself. Like it still worked because I accredit myself to that because I created my systems well enough that he could just look at them and just execute even without my like guidance. But still, bro, like we lost almost 20K in potential upside of closed deals just based on the fact that I just didn't have access to him or the systems for the last 4 days. And 4 days is a long time to launch, dude. Every day counts. And it was due to this is why we just allowed people to book in pretty much for the rest of the month. So like the launch itself, in my opinion, actually was flop. It was a flop, but we were still able to book in people for the rest of the month and still close deals just due to we had just a lot of built up demands. It's just like we didn't captivate on it or captive like oh my gosh, it even pisses me off thinking about it because like bro, there was just so much potential with that launch. But this next launch is going to be fine. And pretty much the last thing as well, this is also a problem, it's just that his leads were just broke, bro. And this was actually the biggest bottleneck. And because if you didn't know, Cecil, he is from Ghana. So yeah, the most important part of this launch and why I didn't get the results we were actually looking for was just that most of his leads were simply just too broke to afford the high ticket. Cecil is based in Ghana, and if anyone knows about selling to markets where the GDP is low, it's just a challenge as there's just not that money going around. There's just not that money circulating, and people don't even have money to pay their rents. If you go to these countries, I'm Nigerian. Like, there's a lot of people in the village where I stay. A lot of people just walking. A lot of people selling stuff in the street and stuff like that. Selling clothes, selling stuff in the hot sun. There's a lot of people just don't have money. That's the truth, and that's most of his audience thus far. They're based in Ghana and Nigeria. Of course, not everyone in these countries are broke. Of course not. Like the countries wouldn't even be able to run if everyone in these countries were broke. And with the way we position the offer, we made it a no-brainer for people who actually got to go on a sales call and like actually had the money to purchase his piano mentorship. But from our original qualifications, every single person chose the cheapest option for what they'd be willing to invest. So I think the cheapest option was like 0 to 500. People were choosing that, and I don't think it's that they're choosing it because like, oh, I don't even want to invest in it. I want it to be free. I quite literally think it's just the mindset there. It's like people don't have money. That's literally all they could afford. And this is our mistake because we should have allowed pretty much everyone to book in. And this was like the main thing I wanted to say because yes, people were clicking this, but our mistake was that like, okay, these people who clicked that automatically disqualified. I had to account for the fact, and I should have accounted for the fact that okay, their mindset is just always going to pick that most likely. So we shouldn't have separated them by money qualifications because people who were not technically qualified for calls were still very willing to pay a 3K price point. So that's why you can't really judge a book from its cover. Of course, you want to, especially if you have an abundance of leads. But in this situation, we got to the point where we were just like, okay, let's just open floodgates. Anyone who fills out a form gets a chance to book in a call. And there were people who were not even qualified for calls who were still very willing to pay the 3K price point. So most of his leads that bought though we're based in countries with higher GDP, and I'm not gonna lie. So that's like US, UK, and that is just a hint to the fix for how we are solving this. Because from now on, and what Cecil has already been doing, um, we are just positioning his content, his channel, and social media to now be more so targeted to global audiences like US, UK, Canada, Australia, etc. And this is because we understand that these markets just have higher purchasing power, and that's just the truth. Like they just have higher purchasing power compared to like Ghana and Nigeria. Like it's just true. Like U.S. spends a lot way more money than Nigeria and Ghana, and we're gonna eventually have something of purchase for all purchasing powers, which you should as well. Eventually, you have to have all segments like mid ticket, low ticket. But until then, we're just focused solely on high ticket because that is the biggest lever. And I'm telling you, I'm just reading my mind before I even like read it on the screen. That's the biggest lever to pull to even be able to create something to purchase for all purchasing powers in the first place. Hmm. So what actually worked though? Like, let's talk about it. What actually worked, and this is what's going to allow us to actually scale Cecil to a 6 to 7 figure business. Like this is what actually worked because now we can double down on what actually worked. Market research and offer creation foundations pivotal, 100% pivotal. Previous deep work we did on market research and offer foundations allowed us to know exactly what the avatar wanted in every aspect. It felt like we were reading their minds. Anyone who got on the sales call were just like, oh my gosh, they just wanted to purchase. It felt like we were hitting the offer on a silver platter. Like selling legit did not feel like selling. Messaging was not a problem here, and it was only through the previous work that we were able to create assets and copy that spoke directly to the specific avatar. So we now have the foundations of Cecil's 6 to 7 figure business. And remember, Foundations are what allow you to get to your desired vision that you desire, to the desired vision that you want. Feel like a real entrepreneur. Actually have time freedom, location freedom, etc. Actually have a lot more skill and feel like you have more skill and feel like you have more authority than other people who seem to be worse than you in your niche and in other, various niches as well. You need to focus on foundation. Remember, foundation is what gets you to a long-term vision, not tactics and strategy. So we are doubling down on these foundations, dude. Doubling down. And marketing post and ads is phenomenal. The belief engineering that we did, the psychological engineering that brainwashing that we've done, it was phenomenal. It was these avatars felt as if the offer and the post were directly targeted towards them, which they were. So they did everything and more in pre-swayed an avatar before they even heard a price for the one-to-one mentorship. So it's like before they even hear what price it is, they're like, "Oh yeah, this is for me. This is for me. This is for me." And even when they hear the price, they're like, "Okay, yeah, makes sense." Because oh my gosh, it's just the way we position the offer. Of course, it makes sense, dude. We are giving them so much value that it makes it feel like a no-brainer for them. Leads were not just interested, they were obsessed with the offer. They were begging to get in. People were truly not trying to miss what was happening, and this was due to the psychological levers we pulled before and during the launch in terms of FOMO, urgency, scarcity, etc. I just talked about psychological levers. I'm sure you understand. Specifically, we had a sort of asset called the foundational sales letter, which was on the thank you page, which was a required viewing before the avatar even hopped on the call with us. And that quite literally did all the selling for us. That was probably our strongest our strongest like lever here. And shout out to Tim Yoon. I got the foundational sales letter from him. Um Quite literally, like that was so pivotal in the fact that it basically walked through the offer in such a friendly format step by step that like leads who watched this had oh my gosh, they had no issues with anything, bro. Because foundational sales letter pretty much sold them before they even hop on a call completely. Complete. That's an asset we are going to quadruple down on because it's so essential before the call. So yeah, Cecil, he just didn't even have to sell. It was a no-brainer for his avatars when they got into the calls. All of this plus the funnel plus the sales process, just gold throughout the launch and the fulfillment infrastructure. It's just simple, but it's dangerous. I'm telling you. Architecture and structure of the fulfillment is simple, but deadly in the results it generates and is going to generate. So yeah, we're just gonna keep things as simple as possible so that you can focus on getting the best results possible for your customers. Well, I mean, okay, well, sorry. You should keep things as simple as possible, and just like I don't want you to even think about like fulfillment dashboards and like all this stuff. Just think about like, okay, what can I do to really get that transformation for my customer, and then just do that. Like follow your natural intuition. You'll be able to figure out what you should provide. I'm telling you, it'll come out of you just naturally. If you care, if you have love for your customer, if you have love for your product, and if you have love for what you do, the main focuses of fulfillment are just like what our fulfillment was is just a custom fulfillment dashboard that sets crystal clear expectations, hosts week by week execution, lets them track progress, and then hosts also the end to end customer roadmap. So we also need to keep customers on track and accountable because that's really the main thing that they're paying for. Nobody cares about information. Information can be looked up on chatgpt.com. People just care about being accountable. So this is all in the name of assuring getting the best results and transformations possible at the forefront of successful strategy and business. And this is what leads to a business that compounds in success and growth over the course of 4 to 6 months. It's as simple as that. Like I'm telling you, in 4 to 6 months, Cecil will be at a 50K, 70K a month YouTube business. And that's just what it is. Like when you've built the infrastructure and foundation to do so, it's that simple. You don't have to do anything else. Like the path becomes so easy. And I'm gonna outline the exact path that you should follow as an educational informational YouTuber if you want to get to 50K, 100K, 200K a month, whatever month you want to get to. I will give you the exact path that you should follow. And just stay tuned for the back half of this video. It's going to be deadly. And in simple terms, now that we know what works, we put everything that we just went over into this funnel right here. And then we get to go into the gold doubloons. And the gold doubloons, sorry, just had to check something. The gold doubloons, like as in the doubloons that like, pirate ships be having, it says so with multiple 5-figure plus launches, and then eventually after a couple of these multiple 5-figure plus launches, scale him to a multiple 5 to 6 figure a month business. And like I said, 120 to 180 days. That's like 6 months, 4, 6, 6, 7. I'm chilling. Time freedom as the systems have pretty much already been built. We just pretty much from launch to launch is just tweaking. At this point, Cecil has no task other than getting amazing results for his customers and preparing for his next launch. Everything has already been built. Everything that needs to be tweaked will just be tweaked. And it's simple tweaks that can be done in a couple of days. So We don't have to launch again. Or sorry, we are definitely launching again, but we have no more launch or offer or business anxiety. So he's not confused about the path. The path is just proven and clear for him, and we just need to execute. And then obviously his premium customer base is willing to pay top dollar for his products and coaching. This is just proof, and the proof that we provided, like to even get them to purchase in the first place, like it's not, it wasn't even that crazy. Imagine the proof that we're now able to show once we get amazing results. Dude, oh my god, this system is just so, it's just so simple. Like everything just works, bro. Like you just need to be able to put in the effort in order to like actualize it. So his customer base is now willing to pay top dollar for his products and coaching. It has been proved that this first launch is going to be proved even more with the second, third, and then the fourth final launch. We call it the big synthesis launch in DwavesAcquisition. So that's your productized service where everything comes together in synthesis. Predictable compounding revenue. Well, that's the wrong thing. There's a lot of typos in here, bro. Cecil will be the go-to name in his niche for piano coaching. It's just inevitable because nobody else is focused on cultivating as many results for his customers as we are, because that is the number one thing that actually gets someone to become the top in their niche and authority. It's the amount of customer results and proven transformation. Well, everyone goes to the people at the top. It's just simple as that. If you're at the top with people whose lives you've changed, people are gonna go to you. Simple as that. And simple, like in just simple terms, like what does this mean for you? Like, if you want 30K plus launches, you need and like you want to scale towards 100K a month, you can't afford to just figure it out as you go. Like the biggest wins came for the biggest wins for us. An offer so line, but the market that sells itself, marketing assets that pre-sell before the call, and fulfillment path that delivers the result every time. If you don't have these three pieces, you're gonna just be stuck grinding for every sale. These are the exact specific things you need to do. Like anything else doesn't matter. With them, you can launch once to keep compounding without rebuilding from scratch. And literally, I mean, listen, these are it's just proof of what we did. Like payment here, 2,498, 498, 3,000 payment links. Kevin, super excited to work, amazing, trying to get amazing results. I mean, these are the same screenshots as before, but like aligned content strategy where now you can see all of his content is now tailored towards a specific avatar that he talks to. So like now all of these are just piano based. You can just see like that's now that he knows his actual avatar. 15K video, like 167K, payment. I mean, dude, like this is the result. And now, like I said, this first launch is just the first launch. We are going to scale more, and eventually it's going to get to the point where he doesn't even need to launch anymore. He's able to just sell his thing on demand because he's gotten so many results and transformations that the thing sells for itself. Like quite literally. And then we're going to design it and structure it so that he can get in as many customers as he wants into his business without the business breaking. That's what allows for true scale. That's what allows for you to get multiple 7 figures a month. The people who are able to get 7 figures, 8 figures a month is because they have designed their system and their business that they can onboard hundreds of customers a month without the system breaking. That's the whole goal, and that's where we're going to take that. So if you want to come for a ride, bro, dude, DM me on Instagram. I want to help you. I will build out for you a 20K cash collected educational / informational YouTube business in 10 to 14 days. I will do it for you. We have AI end-to-end powered systems powered end-to-end systems that will do it for you. Just DM me on Instagram. DM me synthesis. Okay. And so now, this is the most important part of the video thus far. Because we talked about Cecil's story. We talked about the root core pain problem that's causing you to be in the situation that you're in with your YouTube business and just YouTube channel in general. You just have been building your business in the wrong foundation, and you're focusing on media to try to grow your business rather than actually focus on building a proper business. We've gone through the pain points. We've gone through like where you want to take your business. We've gone through how you want to feel as a real entrepreneur and how you want to feel when you have accomplished your vision and when you are actually living the life that you said that you wanted to live when you started YouTube in the first place. This is the culmination of all the lessons that you need to take from this video. And I'm telling you, if you ingrain these lessons into your subconscious and brain and ingrain these lessons into basically the foundation that you move from and run off from, you are going to be in a completely different place in the next couple of months. You can take this, not even, watch another video and be fine because you now have the foundations. We're not talking about tactics and strategies anymore. This is the most important part of the entire video where we are going to talk about the biggest lessons and why they matter and why they matter for you as well. So pay attention, please, please, please. I want you to change your life. So please, 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 please pay attention. So what were the biggest lessons? Number one, high ticket is not risky. It is actually your shortcut to as less risky of a business as possible. So high ticket is the fastest and safest lever. I don't like that. That's skinny. Why is that? Okay, whatever. High ticket is the fastest and bro. Why is it so skinny? It's just the fastest and safest lever that you can pull. If you want your business built on stone rather than sand, yes, you can sell low ticket and mid ticket communities and courses, but when you eventually cap out the amount of people that could ever join your low and mid ticket, as those forms of monetization always bias getting as much volume and as many people to the door as possible, your business will decline over time. And I brought this example up earlier in the video. Dude, I'm telling you, I've been on school since April of 2023, bro. The people who are at the top, when did the school game start? Somewhere along that line. I forget. I saw the first school game when Hamza won. I was a very big watcher of Hamza, and I still love Hamza. He's awesome. He's actually what actually got me started into this. It was just pretty smart. I've watched all the school games. I've been here since the beginning. The people who are at the top now, were at the top then, are no longer at the top. And that's the nature of the business because they didn't focus on the right thing. They were just focusing on the easy aspect of it being money. But eventually, the community will die. Eventually, people will leave. Eventually, you will cap out with the amount of people who are able to join your community. And it just gets harder and harder over time. Why would you want to be in a business that gets harder and harder over time? It gets harder and harder over time. Like, it's just the truth. Like, it focuses on getting as much volume as possible. And like, dude, like you're not able to get the thing that actually causes businesses to continue to grow over and over. It's the fact that they're serving their customers better and better. So yeah, low ticket and mid ticket aren't maximizing and optimizing for the biggest lever that actually keeps you at the top of your industry so that you can continue to grow month by month. And that's just simply customer transformations. Low and mid ticket make it pretty much impossible to get and give adequate enough amount of time and energy required for someone to get a substantial enough transformation due to the amount of people in these forms of monetization as well as due to the nature of these products. So you can probably just imagine like you've sold low ticket before, you've sold mid ticket before, and I'm sure it was just sort of a struggle, sort of like a struggle to kind of maybe appeal and appease everybody. You probably had to hire people to do so, and you probably just weren't focused on getting results as much as you should have. Just because of the amount of people, you probably felt overwhelmed about it. Like honestly. So yeah, it's impossible to provide, first of all the information necessary for true change and transformation in communities and courses. One because like there's already an abundance of information. People don't need more. Like people can look up anything with ChatGPT and Google. Information is out there. People already know what to do. And two, most of the time you're only going to be solving a couple problems in relation to the avatar, but not the whole gap that actually causes a transformation, not just a change. So the whole goal is people don't just want to solve the problems; they want to get to a specific vision. Like when you think of like your goals, you don't just think of the goal. Like for example, one of my goals is a million a month. I'm not just thinking, oh, yep, a million a month. Yep, I'm thinking of all the things that comes along with a million a month. That's like the lifestyle. Freak it. I don't care. The cars, the watches, the looks maxing, the way I look, the way I can provide for my family, my friends, the status, the power. I don't give a freak. I'll say it straight up like that. So people, when they want a change, they don't just want like for example, what a change for me if I was to be in a low tech community, it's not like a low tech community is never going to be able to provide for me all the things I need to get and achieve that vision that I have for me with $1 million a month. It's just not possible. It's only going to maybe solve a couple problems in relation to that end desired state that I want. So you're never going to be able to solve the whole gap that actually causes a transformation. You're only going to cause change. Does that make sense? I hope you can make that distinction. So yeah, people just don't need more information. They just need accountability and guidance. That's actually just the biggest value of like high ticket and transformation. People need accountability and guidance. People don't just need more information. And yeah, most people in your lower tickets are just gonna get subpar results just because like they don't have this personalized accountability and guidance. But it's impossible to give to everybody. And I'm a very tenacious person. Like I've been in communities and it's just like, bro, unless I was really, really committed to one, And even then, I churned, bro. I've churned to every single comedian just because, like, bro, like it's just the nature of them. Like you just churn. Like I can't imagine someone who's not as tenacious as me. I'm not saying I'm the most, I have the most tenacity and I have the most discipline in the world, but bro, like I can just imagine. If you want your business to be as non-risky as possible, and this is the shift I want you to make. If you want your business to be as non-risky as possible, it has to be built on a rock-hard foundations of customer results and transformations, and you can only really do that through high ticket. And that's the point. High ticket is actually the most non-risky thing you can do because nobody can take away your customer transformations from you. Like once you have those, bro, you can't take it away from you. It's just something that's a part of your business and a part of your identity and a part of like your brand. No one can take away your high ticket transformations because no one can change and deny the fact that these people have really gotten a substantial change in their lives because of you. And yeah, it's the sole reason why companies like Tesla and Apple are at the very top. It's just simple as that. It's because they get amazing customer results. AKA, people love using Teslas and Apple iPhones. And yeah, like this is sauce. Like I'm trying to tell you, gang, this is sauce, bro. I'm gonna get a mouse because bro, these drawings are hard. Gang, I've been recording for 2 hours, gang. But I'm just trying to give you as much value as possible. So yeah, small audience as well. This is the next thing. Small audiences can drive very, very big launches. So the same mechanisms I use for my business with 36 YouTube subscribers and 14 Instagram followers is the same strategies that, well, it's actually 13 Instagram followers. I just lost one. Maybe I'm not providing as much value as I think. Whatever. I'll do better. Yeah, it's the same strategies that I use for my clients, minus the launch, because my offer is already launched technically, as well as my product is already pretty much built. But when it comes down to it, especially with your first launch or two, and because like we are using the same strategies and I'm using the same mechanisms and same strategies that I'm using in my business as well, and I'm using for my clients, like you just don't need a big audience in order to make 20K to 40K from a launch. All you need is a proper high ticket offer and a simple launch process that persuades the audience and send them through a simple step-by-step process so that they can buy. Like I said, keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. Especially you who has tens of thousands of people in their audience, bro. You could have 20K, 30K cash collected within the next 7 to 10 days. It's as simple as that. Cecil actually had an audience of over 300 combined on a whole bunch of platforms, but we did these numbers on only about 150 leads. Like, listen, bro, I'm telling you, I'm not proud of this at all. Like, just a lot of broken systems, bro, but it's fine. The point still stands. All you need is one person to buy, and you'd already be at anywhere from 2K to 8K cash collected from one person because it just, of course, depends on the price of your offer and, of course, your niche and like what you're able to charge your offer at. But you can imagine that you don't need hundreds of thousands of people in your audience to even turn your YouTube channel into a 50K to 100K a month business. If you were selling 2K packages, you would only need 25 people a month. And there's even ways to structure your offers that like you can do it with less people, like with maybe a backhand offer. Some like there's a whole bunch of ways. I'm not gonna talk about that in this video. But yeah, you can imagine you don't need hundreds of thousands of people. Like so right now, with Cecil, he couldn't, bro. He could not add a single subscriber, follower, or view, or whatever the case may be. And he still has $1 million business within these 300,000 people. Legit, excuse me, legit 300,000 people. He has $1 million business, and that's the point. You don't need that many people. Jeez, I keep burping. You don't need that many people to get to a point where you're able to make these numbers per month. It's just as simple as that. It's just the numbers, because the numbers, and it's just a simple math game. So yeah, you don't need a massive following. Just do your market research, create an offer based off your market research, and do a simple launch. Just present the offer that you pretty much built based off the market research that you've done, and say, yeah, I built this for you guys. It's as simple as that. And simply enough, you are ready to launch now. Like I said, you can have these results in the next 7 to 10 days, bro. You don't need any prep or anything in advance to help you figure out when or what time you should launch. You don't need anything else. Just figure out where your audience wants to do market research. I'm a broker right here. I'm a broken record. Just start whisper and teasing that you have something big coming for them. Create the offer based on the market research and the avatar that you pick. Gather social proof. Create the minimum viable assets needed to present the offer. That's like your marketing post. Maybe that's a quick little video presenting the offer. Just look up how to write a video sales letter. It takes 10 minutes, or have ChatGPT do it for you. And then just launch. Post a marketing post. Present the offer. DM people. Take sales calls. Make 20K. Easily. It's just easy. You don't even need to do too much. You don't need a complex funnel. You can just DM. You don't even need a funnel. You can just DM your warmest leads and people in your audience and present to them the offer. It's as simple as that. You don't have to think that the stars have to be aligned and things have to be perfect, because they don't. You can create the momentum and the stars align. You can create the momentum as the launch goes on, And because of that, stars just align as the launch goes on. Like stars aren't gonna align beforehand. Like they will to an extent, but it becomes a lot more aligned as the launch goes on, bro. And fourth, your audience already has the answers. You just need to ask them directly. This is straightforward. I'm not going to harp on this that long. Your audience has everything you need to know to create a multi 6 to 7, 8 figure business. Literally, it just comes from the market. It comes from your audience. The audience equals the market. The market is just the big term that everyone in online business space says. Your audience is the market. That's literally it. Your offer and mechanisms, etc., will evolve, but the foundations will always start at the audience, which is just the market level, the market and audience. It'll always start at that level. If you've been having problems with your YouTube business in terms of not knowing what to offer, you're stuck trying to grow your current offer, you're stuck making money, you can't scale, whatever the case may be, it is because there is a misalignment between your offer and your market and knowing your avatar. It's simple as that. It's just guaranteed. You don't actually have a clear idea of your avatar, your market, your audience, your offer, your messaging, your product, your positioning, and then fixing all of these things. Fixing all these things focuses on fixing and solving the root core issue, which is a market research problem. So it's like pretty much you can figure out a clear idea of your avatar and your market and your audience, which is pretty much the same thing, and your offer, your messaging, and your product. You can figure that out at the root core level. Like I said, we are foundations first based business, and that's our philosophy at DwavesAcquisition. The root core issue, the root core foundation that you need to lay and build up all of these things I just said, the offer, the product, the messaging, etc. Is just market research. So, and that's why everything we did for Cecil felt like cheating because we weren't guessing. We literally were handing back what his audience already told us that they wanted. My phone, my computer's about to die. Let me get a charger. All right, and lastly, the big kahuna. This is probably the most important point, and this is something that you need to understand. So pay attention, bro. This is the most important point. If you want to, you can pause it here and read it yourself, but I'm going to go through everything here because this is so, so very important. I'll spend at least 10, 15 minutes on this because this is very important. So, funny enough, it is not the cash collected that even matters. I promise you. Like, for this first launch, bro, cash collected does not matter. And even though I explained this the entire video, we're not just launching this offer just for cash. Yes, money is good. Okay, you're not supposed to see me. Hello. Money is good. Money is nice. But the reason why, now let me just make sure if I'm recording. Yep. Money's good. Money's nice. But the reason why we launched it is because the only surefire way / path towards building a multi 6 to 7 figure a year or month business is. And why did. Oh, well, okay, sorry. I misread that. The reason why we launched this is just because it's the only surefire way path towards building a multi 6 to 7 figure a year or a month business. This is the only way. This is the only path forward. And there's a reason why. The goal of the first launch is not to collect cash. It's to do everything in your power to learn what actually gets your avatar to their dream desired result and end state by being close in the trenches with them, and from there, use the mechanisms and strategies and tactics that you use to get these results and start to turn them into productized intellectual property. Basically, just a productized service that 100% works. As it has been built on the back end of tried and true direct trench work with your customers to get them to amazing transformations. So, in other words, the goal of this first launch is just quite literally more advanced market research. And this is why when you frame it in that way, you realize, oh wow, this right, like quite literally is the only surefire way path towards building a company that like generates 6 to 7 figures a year or 6 to 7 figures a month, because all the top companies in the world, all the top businesses in the world, it's the exact same path they did. Market research before they even and market research and minimal viable products so that they could get more feedback and data. Feedback and data is the most important part of a business. Feedback and data is what allows you to understand what works and what doesn't. And that's the whole point of this first launch. Who cares about the cash? The cash is nice. Cecil is going to use that 10K revenue and, do whatever he wants with it. But it's now, what's more important is the people who are actually in his mentorship, he's now able to learn from them and figure out, okay, what actually works. You need to treat your business like a real company. That's the only way to make a fuck ton of money from it. And yes, I know you're a YouTuber. This is all kind of foreign to you. It's like, wow, I need to treat my business like a real company. I wasn't even treat my business like a business in the first place. Yeah, but you need to change your mindset on this. You're not a content creator anymore, because you know where a content creator gets you. 1K, 7K a month, unpredictable. Going up some months, going down some months. You're not understanding how to build a high ticket offer. Not understanding how to predictably get money every single month. Not having to rely on just posting content all the time, bro. And not understanding why all these people are making money. You are trying things and you are doing the things that some of these freaking gurus are telling you to do, but it's not working long term. It's only tweaking your business a little bit. No, no, no. You need to treat your business like a real company. You're no longer a creator or an influencer. You are a real business founder. If you want to make real money from this game, you have to see yourself as so. If you don't, then you won't make any real money. It's simple as that. If you want to get to that dream vision that you have, you need to treat your business like a real company. You need to treat yourself like a real founder. In real business, there are things such as moats. Moat is pretty much sort of like the type of thing. For example, a castle has walls, but on top of walls, a castle might have a river that prevents people from being able to cross it because there's crocodiles in the river. That is a moat. That prevents the castle from being able to be overrun and overtaken because it has the walls, which is a moat in itself, but also the river, which has crocodiles in it that will eat you if you try to swim across the river. That's another moat. And in business, there are things such as moats. These moats prevent other businesses from being able to overtake them or do better than them due to a particular moat being too strong or big for another business to surpass. In the online business space, your biggest moat, aka your biggest defense against attackers and big, strong, scary men who are going to come and pillage your castle and take your, wife or husband, kill your husband, take your wife, kill your woman and take your husband. I'm serious. Back in the day, that's what they was doing. Your biggest moat to prevent that and biggest defense against it is your customer results and transformations. That is it. Nobody can take that away from you. Nobody. This isn't for YouTubers having 6-figure a year to a month. Like 6-figure a year or 6 to 7-figure a month business is always going to be the same. And this is the main system that if you follow this from this point forward and actually structure your business around starting this and implement this within the next 7-10 days, you will change your life forever. So start from the foundations and master and learn your avatar, offer, and messaging. We've talked about that throughout this entire video. Launch for the first time and validate these foundations. Open about 5 to 10 spots just so that you can focus on getting amazing customer results. Validate your foundations, which means just validate whether whether the avatar you chose was correct, whether your offer was correct, and whether you have been talking to them specifically. And of course, you'll tweak things as like people join your stuff, and as you get real feedback and real data from people who actually purchase with you with hard-earned dollars. But launching for the first time right now is going to validate these foundations of your avatar, offer, and messaging. So then get amazing results with your mechanisms and methodologies. That's like whatever that is for you. It's different for everybody. Whatever is unique to you, get amazing results using doing so. Launch again with more people. Get more amazing results. Launch again with even more people. So at this point, you're at the third launch. Get even more amazing results. So at this point, you're at the third launch and you've got amazing results off the third launch. Now, the final launch you should do before you open your productized service to the public is called what we call the synthesis launch of DwavesAcquisition, but it's just the launch of your productized service that you would have been building and compiling over this time period as you got more and more data of what actually works to get your customers the results and transformation. So this entire time you should have been documenting what works, and most likely you would have. You would have been creating documents and frameworks and templates and certain things to get your customers to a specific end result. All of these frameworks and templates and documents can be turned into a full end-to-end system that gets them from the result from current situation to their desired situation without you being in the trenches, without you working so closely with them, where it's basically like they have your brain in just a productized format to where you can onboard hundreds of people a month without the business breaking. Because obviously, if you're working one-to-one and closely with customers, you're not going to be able to onboard 100. You're not. You're just going to, you yourself are going to break. But once you have a productized service that you can only build once you know what actually works and what actually doesn't work by working closely with people, you can't skip those phases. You can't skip the phases of working one-to-one and transitioning into group coaching, whatever the case may be, and working just closely with people. You can't skip that phase. You use that phase to build your productized service that you know works because you work closely with people in the first 3 launches. And that's what I'm saying. You create a moat for yourself. You create a moat for your business. You create a moat for yourself because you actually know what works. It's not like some funny game where you know what actually gets the result. And now you can turn it into a repeatable system that allows you to now predictably scale. This is how you get to the 6-7 figures a year, 6-7 figures a month mark. All the people who are at the top have a productized system that they're able to sell on demand without extra additional time on their part in getting people to amazing results. The whole point of this is so that because now you know what actually gets amazing results, now you can get more people amazing results at scale, more people at a time without burning yourself out and breaking yourself. So it is as simple as that. That is the guaranteed way to a 6 to 7 figure a year or month YouTube business, or just business in general. By the time you launch your product and service, you have tons of the most important part and aspects of people buying from you in the first place, which is just proof that others have gotten this amazing result and proof that there is demand for this offering product. So by the time you get to a product and service, you would already have like 30 to 40 customer transformations. And you don't realize how powerful 30 to 40 customer transformations are. And once you launch a product and service, now you can now start to document more and more of these customer transformations over time until you have hundreds of them, bro. And I mean, once you have hundreds, you're pretty much at the top of your industry. No, there's no one else that's going to be able to compete with you in your specific niche and vertical. And yeah, it's why we focus on solely on cultivating as many of these transformations as possible, both for the customers to trust you, but also for you to understand, know, and have all the data necessary of your avatar and ICP to know pretty much everything about them better than anyone else in your industry because you've worked just so closely with them. And that's what I'm saying. It's not just for your business, it's for you as well, just so you know your customers and your business better than anyone else. And you know your ICP better than anyone else. Because there's going to be other people who are trying to target your ICP. They're going to go to the people who feel like they know them the best. I'm giving you the sauce, gang. I'm just giving you the sauce. That's all I can do. I'm not gonna lie. Once for the first time, it's just a stepping stone. But it is a stepping stone that leads to the building of the impenetrable fortress or castle you would have built by your third to fourth launch. So you want to launch about 3 times regular launches where you're working closely with people and getting amazing results. You're working at one-to-one. You can then eventually transition into group coaching maybe in the third launch where you've kind of like, started to master your process. Throughout those launches though, you should be documenting what's working. You should be figuring out, okay, what is actually getting results here? What's actually getting results now? What's working? What's not working, etc. Remove the stuff that's not working. Double down on the stuff that is working. Turn it into a system by the fourth launch, which is the productized service. That's like a program. That's a course. That's whatever the case would be. Or if you don't want to do that, you can create a community. You can create a course that you don't even need to maybe have coaching. You can add coaching to the productized service and actually start to build out a team. The point is, once you have these amazing customer transformations off the first 3 launches of working closely with people, you now have the freedom to choose how you want to design and structure your business. You don't have to scale to 6 to 7 figures a month. I want to do that, but you can just have a chill 6 to 7 figure a year business that though is proven because you know what works, you know what results you've got for people. You can have a chill 6 to 7 figure a year business with a low ticket community, or like just selling courses that don't really require so much time. You can just build a course once because you now know what actually works, and then just have it sell on repeat. And launching for the first time is just a stepping stone. So this, quite literally, if you implement this today, this could take only 4 or 6 months realistically. And in that time period, you would have also just netted hundreds of thousands of dollars for your business just because you would have already just been launching. The first 1, 2, 3 launches could be multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like first launch could be maybe 20, 25K launch. Next launch, the second launch could be maybe 30, 40, 50K cash collected. The third launch could be maybe a little bit more. That's already like what, 100K some. Then the last launch of product and service, that could be your big mama launch. That could be like 100K, 200K, 300K. I've seen like people make tons of money off big launches, and you can do that with the last launch as long as your business is structured so that you can onboard people into that last launch system without like your business breaking, of course. But of course, we help you with that DwavesAcquisition. I'm sure you probably don't know how to do that, but this video, it's just too much value for you. You're gonna work with us, so I'll see you on calls and stuff. So you would have netted hundreds of thousands of dollars from your business. And finally, the launch of your product or service, most likely doing multiple 6 figures off of the launch, and that's what I was just saying right here. So, in a 3-step process in the long term, which is the DwavesAcquisition formula, is just the path for educational info YouTubers is actually the simplest out of anyone else in the online space. There's only 3 things you need to focus on to reach 100K a month. And of course, there are things like operations and sales, etc., that play a role. But sales, for one, becomes easy when your product is good and your customer results are good. This then, therefore, makes your marketing and content better, which makes sales easier. It's a continuous loop. It's a flywheel. Sales becomes easy when your product is good. You don't even have to sell. People are begging to work with you, as well as like when your customer results are good as well. Operations involves just keep things as simple as possible and structured and organized as you scale and grow bigger. You don't need a bunch of complex systems. Just keep things simple as you scale. Scaling is just basically keeping things structured and organized so that your business doesn't break when you scale. Scale isn't just growing. It's also making sure things don't break when you actually grow. So because of that, though, because we have already talked about operations and sales, there are only three things you need to focus on as an educational or informational YouTuber. Transformation-based offer built off the true pain points and problems of your audience. And this is not what you think. This is not what you think your offer is. This is based off the actual direct market research and direct data you've gotten from your audience. You don't actually know what they want. Like, if you haven't done that, you don't actually know what they want. And the second thing, you need a product, and this should just be, your consulting and coaching in the beginning, but should definitely transition to productize over time, like I was just saying before. This ensures that as many customers that go through your ecosystem leave with amazing results and transformation. So, like I said, the product must ensure that people get amazing transformations, because that's what's going to allow you to just be able to grow predictably. Because people, the amount of results and trust you have built up off of a product that leads people with amazing results and transformations, like, people will be begging to work with you. People want the same results, especially if it seems like multiple types of people and people like them have also gotten that same result. And the last thing, once you have these two things, you also need a marketing and content paradigm so that you can actually market your product, market your offer, and attract people naturally into your ecosystem by focusing on identity, emotion, and story-based selling plus lead engineering. These are all concepts that we go into depth in DwavesAcquisition, so I'm not going to go into too much depth into here. But you need to just make people feel as if they see themselves in the offer that you're providing. That goes along with why you created your offer in the first place. Like, what's your story behind your business and why you are you and why you are doing what you're doing. For example, with Cecil, he's been playing piano for 20 years, bro, and he went into very much into depth until how he came about this, his struggles, what he had to overcome. And people, bro, people eat that stuff up because they see themselves in him. They feel the emotion that's involved with that. And belief engineering is just making people believe the things that you want them to believe and breaking beliefs that don't serve them in the context of what you're selling. I'm not going to go into too much in depth into that. I'm going to have some videos for that though. But what I want to talk about, and finally, because we've gone over pretty much a ton of stuff. We've gone over pretty much a ton of stuff. We've gone over so much stuff. I want to talk about just pretty much your immediate next step, like quite literally within the next 7 days. So we've done a lot of stuff throughout the video. This video has been long, bro. I think I've been recording for like almost 3 hours. It's like 5 a.m. right now. First things first, what I want you to do within the next 7 days, I want you to ask your audience directly, run a poll, DM 5 to 10 warm followers, and find out their number one problem plus dream result. Just run a quick poll. Figure out, okay, what is, like, just ask them, like, hey, like, what are you guys struggling with? It's as simple as that. Like, you don't need to make it complicated. You could ask them, like, what do they dream in context of maybe the thing that your niche is about? Like, what are their main problems in regards to your niche? You're gonna get a host of different problems. Figure out what are the ones that seem to be the most profitable, the most common, and what are the ones that you can actually solve for them. Also, DM your followers, like, literally figure out, okay, like, what do they want? Like, DM people, like, ask them, like, you are creating an offer based off these people, so you need to figure out, okay, what are they gonna say if I DM them? All right, and two, package a premium offer around solving that in 6 to 8 weeks for 5 to 10 people based on your data. I mean, it doesn't have to be 6 to 8 weeks. It could be 90 days. It could be 120 days. I think that is about 6 to 8 weeks. It could be 6, 7 weeks, 6, 7. But yeah, package a premium offer around solving the thing that your audience pretty much gave you and pretty much told you that they want help with. And yeah, package a premium offer based on the data. You can legit use AI or various offer creation videos to craft it. Quite literally, you could use anything. Like, I have right here. I mean, this is $100 million leads, but find $100 million offers. I'm not promoting pirating it, but I'm sure you can find it online. I'm not endorsing that. Please do not copyright me. I'm not endorsing that. Yeah. I mean, it's very easy to find a video on how to package premium offers. Not, it's very simple. Then I'm sure you know how to craft the offer. It's just like you don't know the sort of steps of, okay, now that you have an offer, what do you do to actually get money from it? Well, I'm telling you right now, the next step is just seeding demand. Share 1 to 2 posts or stories teasing the offer slash solution. And yeah, just invite people to take interest, like DM people, like do this over the course of the days that you're building offer, like start to tease, start to plant sort of seeds that, like, oh yeah, I'm having this, I'm talking about this, I'm going to be selling this, I'm going to be helping you guys with this. And yeah, just tease it. Like, you tease it while you're building. It's just simple. Then get it, like, just get proof, get proof that, like, okay, I have probably gone through this, I can help you. I've also helped and gave advice for free people about this specific thing. You know what I mean? Like I have proof. Here are screenshots and post that. Show it to, you know, DM people that have been interested. Post it on your stories. Post it on your emails. Just share examples of results. It doesn't have to be great results. It can just be some sort of proof to show that what you're selling, what you're providing, has worked for others. Do this over the course of the days that you're building offers. Same thing with seeding demand. And then finally, just open enrollment and present the offer to warm leads and audience. Invite them to apply or book a call. DM the leads that helped you craft the offer. DM other leads. Post daily. Post in your stories. Post emails. Post on all platforms. And then just keep it open by promoting the offer for the next 5 to 7 days. That's what a launch is. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Like, you don't need anything complex. It could just be like a booked call, or you can create like a simple sales page, or it could create like a simple unlisted video where under the video you have a link to book a call or something. It's just very simple. Just be creative. And you know what I'm saying? If you need like just help, just DM me, of course. But quite literally, I'm trying to just think like, yeah, if you just take these steps within the next 7 days, 7 to 10 days, like I'm not gonna talk about like payments and stuff like bro, like you can figure that out. I'm sure you can figure out like how to collect payments. Like you just like join any payment processor, whatever. Like I'm not gonna go over that. If you just take these steps, you'll be able to DM me on Instagram within the next 7, 10, 14, 20 days or so. I'm saying it'll take you 20 days. For me, I can get you down like 7, 10 days. But you'll be able to DM me on Instagram saying you just closed 10K and either the DMs or over a call. Simple. I'm not saying like I'm saying like you would have closed the 10K either through messaging people in DMs or do like a call with people. I'm sure like if you do this and actually take action on this, just DM me. Tell me that you closed 10K so that I can post you in my story and show that like first of all you're awesome, and also I want to show that like yes I told you to do so, and it's as simple as that. And I'm not going to talk about this furthermore. These are your immediate next steps, and yeah, if you follow these, you would have closed 10K, 15K in the next 7, 10, 15, 20 days or so. Simple as that. So do this within the next 7 days. And finally, Epilogue. We are at the end. And this has been a video that I just want to truly help you guys. Like that's all I care about. Like that's all I care about. Like I mean, what else am I here on this planet for? Like, let me provide to you all my sauce. Of course, I can't provide everything because it's like, bro, like this video will be 3 hours. This video is probably almost 2 hours, almost if not already 2 hours. So I've done everything I can to help you guys, and just like I said, I'm more so a foundations based sort of. We're a foundations based firm. Everything is based on foundations. Everything is based on things that can help you forever. Not just tactics and strategies, things that can help you forever. We laid out the foundations. We laid out the actual things that will be that you'll be able to use and apply to your situation for the rest of your life. Like I laid out the path for educational informational YouTubers. You guys are the most powerful people on this online business space. You guys just need to take advantage of your power. The path is simple. Launch, get results. Launch, get results. Launch, get results. Launch your productized service, scale to 6 to 7 figures a month or a year. And of course, the foundation, the first step is just, nailing your market reaches and your offer and your avatar and your messaging. Simple. Simple. Get amazing results for your customers. That's it. I want to invite you. At DwavesAcquisition, I mean, obviously you can tell I put my heart and soul into this, and you can just see that if I can put my heart and soul into something like this that's just free, you can just imagine, dude. I spent the last 6 months building the best product ever. I sacrificed money, I sacrificed friends, freedom, everything. You can watch my last video where I talk about sort of like where I've been the past like months. I've sacrificed everything to create the best product possible, and I'll continue to do that because that's what we do here at DwavesAcquisition. I want to invite you. We are taking on about maybe 5 to 7 more educational informational YouTubers for the month of August as well as into September, just because I want to focus on getting you guys the best results possible so that I can then eventually scale. So I'm a man of my word. I do my own philosophy. I want to invite you. I would be very, very excited to help you build your business to whatever amount of figures you want per month or per year. We have pretty much built an AI-powered end-to-end system that pretty much holds your hand to 20K cash collected in the next 10, 14 days. And after that, then we can start building out the foundations and systems needed to require for your next launch. Then the launch after that, then your big full productized launch where you'll be able to get 6 figures off the launch, multiple 6 figures, and actually now start to have your business where It's open to the public and now can start scaling to whatever you want. And whether you want to build a course business or a community business, whatever the case may be, you can do so after your first 2 or 3 launches where you have proven customer results. So I want to help you do that. I want to give you and hold your hand and help you step by step to that process. So I want to invite you into DwavesAcquisition, into the squeeze launch system that's our trademark. That's what we've titled it as. And I'd be very, very excited for you to join just so that I can truly help you become the best version of you. No more rat race, no more content hamster wheel. Let's actually build you a proper high ticket transformation based business based on foundations and fundamentals, because that's the only thing that matters. So what you can do is you can DM me Synthesis on Instagram, or you can click the first link in the description, or it'll probably be in the pinned comment too. I'll probably put it in the pinned comment because I think this video is going to be a banger. So yeah, I hope to see you on the other side. I truly want to help you. That's all there is. Love you guys. Yeah, I just want to provide value. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys got some value. If you got some value, leave some comments down below, because yeah, I want to just hear what you guys think, and like DM me on Instagram if you have any questions. DM me, just what I'm saying, if you want to talk about the video, whatever it could be. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I will see you in the next video. Tons of value coming in the next 1 to 2 months, bro. I'm excited. Let's go.